Hello, everybody. How you doing? David Snedeker in the house. Please excuse the delay this evening. I've been having all kinds of difficulties, but it is, as someone said a while ago, it's not technical difficulties; it is tradition. I am so glad to be here with you on this Friday night, and it took me so much to get to you today, and I swear I am. The forces are trying to keep us from each other, and I will not allow that to happen. And I know you will not either. Um, the queue is gone. You're right. I did take that down. I got to put that back up. Yeah, so you could hear me breathing. Let me tell you a little bit about that. Two things. First off, I did make Facebook public, guys. So Facebook should be public right now. Um, and I'll double check it, triple check it. Edit audience, it is public. Are we still having problems with that? And thank you, Sue Young Nelson and Terry. So glad you're on tonight. Thank you. So my friends, I'm trying to dial in my headset here so I can resolve some of the issues that we're experiencing. And I went to the tried and true Restream. But let me talk about my breathing for a second. Two things. One, when you hear me breathing, it's because I'm breathing through collapsed nasal passages due to having my nose broken multiple times. You should have seen the other guy. Yeah. So, a lot of elbows and fists to the nose in my 56 years of life. And you can already see it's like, it doesn't know where it wants to go, that nose. But it's so I have to breathe through a collapsed thing. And then the second thing is I need to breathe better. That thing I know for sure. I need to breathe better. So I appreciate you all looking out for me. Um, how we doing here, folks? It looks like we are 777 in the theater right now. 777 on this Friday night. Late start, and a lot of people on the East Coast maybe on to something else or going to bed, but um, and sun up, you heard papers and breathing. No papers, but probably fudging around trying to get things working here. How we doing all? How we doing? Let me see some beautiful names and faces. Glad you're breathing all. Breathe however you need to. I am. Keeps freezing. Anyone else having problems? Shauna. Barry, love you too. Thank you, Barry. Um, Patty, breathing practices make your whole body better. That's absolutely true, especially through the nose, but it's like breathing through a straw here. So I have some breathe rights. They do help. Um, it was boxing. Yeah, was it boxing or basketball you used to do? Andy, that's a great question. Well, here's what ends up happening. When you start dunking on people and there's nothing they can do to stop you, it turns into a boxing match sometimes. And so that's how that went down. You've heard the term, you've never seen a hockey game break out at a boxing match, but you have seen boxing matches break out at other events. So that's where that's all from. And let's see. Hey, Head Sned, love you. Hi, Janine. Good to see you. Hit it hot. Exactly. Hey, what's up, 420? How you doing, brother? Smoke them if you got them, folks. Smoke them if you got them, and drink them if you got them. My friends, happy Friday. Cheers to all of you. I got my Topanga mug with the coyote. Is that a coyote or a I think it's a coyote. Oh man, I gotta get back on the Healy with my eyes. By the way, Healy call tomorrow 9 a.m. A lot of great news, so please check that out. And what the heck is that? It looks like a wolf howling at the moon. but we have coyotes in Topanga, not wolves. But cheers, everybody. Happy Friday, TGI Friday. What do you say if you're new here? Welcome. You are among friends and you're safe here. You don't have to have your dukes up here in the theater, in the Sned shed. And you are among the Sned family, the Sned Nation. And you are safe here to express your views, your facts. We're big on facts here. And we all we ask is that you check your coat, and that involves imagining yourself coming in with a big winter coat out of the cold, frigid uh, world out there, which is it is cold and it is frigid, my friends. And so you need to protect yourself out there. And so you come in with your protection of all your indoctrination, all your preconceived notions, unconscious bias, all your ego, in all your ego that has to have you be right. Just take off that coat, check it at the coat check, grab a claim ticket. It's safe there. You can grab it on your way out, but take that off so you can come in. You can try on some new coats. Excuse me, little burp there. Having a little tea, and you can try on some new coats here and see what fits, and grab that one on your way out if you want to. Grab your favorite drink, your favorite snack, your favorite your favorite pet, and or your favorite mate. Cheers, everybody. And by the way, to all the families out there that watch so fervently, so consistently, um, thank you, and God bless all your family. And yeah, let's get it on. I will be over for a scotch. Sounds good. I am. It's Friday night. I guess I should be having a maybe imbibing, but I'm not. I just it didn't cross my mind because I've been going nonstop trying to bring this show to you tonight. My friends, I got to do some new technical stuff tonight. As you see, we have a different look here. I had to jump to my on the road software here, and we are going to have a heck of a show for you. And I'm so glad that you decided to spend your Friday evening with your Sned family. Welcome home. And we are almost at 1,000 beautiful humans in the theater right now. And we are ready to roll. So quick story for you, a little story time with Uncle Dave here. And then we're going to get into the show notes, my friends, and we're going to give away, don't let me forget, we're going to give away some prizes tonight, some Sned gear, and excuse me. And let me show you what that looks like real quick. On the indoctrination.shop or the indoctrination.com, you can find some fantastic gear. And I want to show you where you look. You go to the indoctrination.com or the indoctrination.shop. And if you're here, you click on the shop. That's me on January 6th there. And you got some great merch here, my friends. The Indoctrination Snedheads Truthcast. We got the Where We Go One, We Go All Snedheads gear. Okay. And One Nation Under God on the side there, clean back. And you're not seeing it because I'm in this new software, so it doesn't do it the way I normally do it. There we go. The Snedhead. So just a few gear. This is what we're going to give away tonight. $25 gift certificates that you can go grab some of your gear. One of my favorites, the Indoctrination at David Snedeker Truthcast Q. In 17 stars, by the way. Here's our original logo with Snedheads 2020 on the side, because many of you found me in 2020. TheIndoctrination.com and the American flag. So check that out. Check out this is one of my faves right here. but haven't got one my size yet because we're going to 100% cotton on this now because there was too much poly in the last one and they were too small. And then we got some great headgear. So, and then the hoodies, folks. I've been having my hoodie on the past couple days. It's getting chilly. Get your hoodies before it gets too cold, and some fab coffee mugs, my friends. And we're getting some bigger coffee mugs as well. So, yeah, please check that out. We're going to be giving away some of that gear tonight. Basically, you can take your pick. So, there's just a little, a little something going on here where we are looking at the deep state had lost control. Okay. Uh, the CCP had lost control. They're all a part of the deep state. They're all a part of one small club that has controlled humanity for a very long time. We've talked quite a bit about this. They lost control when they thought they had enough of the voting rigged in favor of Hillary Clinton. And then they realized they did not, and they were not prepared for the landslide that Donald Trump had over Hillary Clinton. Once he got in with the support of the military and with the continued support of the military, he went to work making America great again. Now, he, we believe in Donald Trump. We believe in Q. We believe in, and when I say believe, it's not a blind faith belief. It's not a naivety. Okay, I have studied the Illuminati. I've studied the power brokers of this planet for over 15 years, and I will tell you that when Donald Trump won and when he ran, I felt that there was a resurgence, that there was a surgence of patriotism that we had been lacking in this country because we had been taken over by communists and we were being turned into a communist nation. Now, this is all kind of surface level stuff. The story I want to tell you is about the people who when they lost control, they had to do everything they could to regain control. Okay. And at the time, there were a great many people that still believed in the mainstream media. Now there are not a great many people. There are still some that exist, but every single day with every single event that happens, more and more people awaken. Here we are after they had basically brought out this whole, I don't know, am I showing up yellow on your end, guys? It looks like I've kind of got a little yellow thing going on. Looks like more jaundice than tan. But at any rate, they had to get him out. We've followed this. We told you, on day one of this pandemic, and I'm going through some of my old stuff. Um, let's see. Let me see. Okay. More houses burning down now in La Palma. Oh, that's tragic. Oh, we'll pull that up. So, they had to get back that control. How are they gonna do it? Well, they had been working on this Wuhan virus, okay? And by the way, there's a great documentary out. We're gonna get you the link to it if you haven't found it already. Christy, if you could please put it in the show notes on, Alex Jones is doing the voiceover on it, and it's from a filmmaker, who's done, about a similar amount of films as I have, and he's also we'll show you him as well. And he put together this movie about the about COVID, and it's a must see. I started watching it a little bit today, and so they needed to take back control of the reins of this planet, and they were desperate to do so, and so they pulled out all the stops. Now, what's very interesting here is that there are still people that understand that this was a man-made virus that was created in the Wuhan Institute of Virology and released into Wuhan and also other parts of the world, and spread quickly. Also believed to be funneled or you know lit by the 5G as well. COVID land, yes, Rona, thank you. COVID land, yep. Yes, in support of Donald Trump, I am Orange Man bad tonight. Okay, I am Orange Man badass. All right, look at the nose. Okay, so they had to create this virus and get it out, and there are still people that understand that happened, but aren't quite understanding that the same people are providing the solution, right? Somebody said, "I can't believe that they didn't do a more deadly virus." Let's go to that. Let's address that. That's a great point. It just went flying by. Sorry, guys. So whoever said that, Travis. Okay, Travis says, I'm surprised they didn't use a more deadly virus." It's a great point, Travis. But here's the thing: we humans are incredibly resilient, and we have an incredible immune system. It ain't easy taking down people, and but here's the thing: they had to make it. You have to make it so that it doesn't take people out right away, because then they can't spread it, right? So it's got to take them out slowly, or and it's also got to put them in a system where money is to be made, where they can help them. So they did want a survival rate as well. So understand that. So part of the population is going to be killed off, right? Part of the population is going to survive it, but they'll get them with the test or the vaccine, because the goal here is to shrink the population, but to also have control over the population that has just been shrunk. Yeah. Okay. Um, and so this is about, because remember, if they kill everybody and then there's only, let's call it, uh, 1,000 people that it could be more, but let's say it's only 1,000 people, a jack attack. Can I show that? I can't show that. That's funny, but that's a funny thing, but I can't post it on the bring it up. Um, and so they needed this agenda to get us to take each other out and fight amongst ourselves, and for many of us to die off. But they still need enough people to control, to dig the ditches, to build the buildings, to service them, to support their adrenochrome addiction. They still need humans. They literally feed off humans. So they can't get rid of all of them, right? Okay. So they just need to control a certain amount. So their agenda was thrown off out of whack by Donald Trump and by Q in a big, big way. And so now what we're seeing is the result of them trying to really gain back control. Okay. Now, when Q says watch the show, we're kind of under the impression that, patriots are now in control, as Q has told us, right? So, but it's also, Q is also, I think, telling us to watch the show of those trying to regain control, those trying to, this is, Doctor Evil stuff, my friends, in a way that we've never seen before on such a mass scale with Fauci, with the stories, with Gates, and the fact of the matter is that for all of you here, which now 1,307 of you in the theater, welcome everybody. For all of you here that can hear my voice, most all of you are awake to the realization that this is a eugenics model. But what's important is that we must not stop just at COVID. We must not stop just at the jab. We must go deeper into the heart of Western medicine, into the heart of allopathic and pharmacological medicine. Okay. I read something today where the doctors are basically agents of the pharmaceutical companies. They get paid for prescribing, right? If you get paid by somebody to do something, aren't you basically their agent? Aren't you their employee? Aren't you their maybe a private contractor that does a job for them? Okay. So this is we have to go deep into these places, these dark rooms, and we have to expose them and bring them to light. The school system, the indoctrination system. This is set up. This whole thing has been set up so that we go to the school board meetings. How many of you have never been to a school board meeting and have had children? Or been to just one or two when something popped up, or went because you've finally had a break from working two jobs, or three jobs, and so but that's the way they structure it. They structure it so we're too damn busy and tired to engage in the process that Q says we must engage in. And so we know we have to go deeper into the schools and stop the CRT, stop the sex ed at kindergarten and first grade, and the pornography, stop the people who are in charge of our children from being uh, pedophiles and harming our children, stop them from abusing them, and the abuse, folks, we need to understand, doesn't just go to the headlines that rock our world. The abuse that we're seeing in the education system is the drip, drip, drip of the indoctrination. The drip, drip, drip of, you listen to what we tell you, you take that as truth, you memorize it, you regurgitate it back to us. And if you do that well, you're going to be able to get a good grade. You're going to be able to advance to the next class. You're going to be able to advance to the next school. You're going to be able to advance to college and beyond. And everyone's running around pretending we live in a world of lack, and that if I can get the good grades, nobody else can. Or if I go to the good school, not as many can. And we've been sold a bad bill of goods that tells us that just because a university has ivy covering its walls, that it's better than your community college or your local state college or schooling yourself, better yet, reading books that are fantastic, better yet, getting an apprentice job, better yet, and learning a trade, learning a craft. We've gone away from that and ended up sending our children and going ourselves to these liberal universities that also put us into, think about the Greek system of the initiation. That's what the cabal does. They haze them at these private organizations, these secret societies. And you have all these fraternities and sororities that do the same damn thing. And now it's a little hush hush because it's persona non grata in the political correct world we live in now. But this is what this is all about. It's about you have to supplicate yourself to a higher purpose, a frat or a the Greek society or the you know. So this is all set up. But getting back to the drip, drip, drip of the indoctrination is the understanding that the whole I'm sorry, the punishment reward paradigm, that we're going to punish you if you don't do this, and we're going to reward you if you do. Look, we've been so conditioned into that. Think now about what we're experiencing. If you don't get this jab, we're going to punish you. We're going to take things away from you. We're going to take away your ability to put food on the table for your children and your spouse and yourself and your friends and family, extended. We're going to take that away from you if you don't do this. There was a gentleman at UCLA today, a doctor, an anesthesiologist, who showed up to work and has been vocal against mandatory vaccines. He was fired, escorted out of the building at UCLA Medical Center, which, by the way, is the medical center that killed my friend. God rest your soul. And killed her on the day that I started this. I was done. She went into a coma on my birthday, March 11th. So they sent him home today. Do you see the reward punishment and why so many people are conditioned to do the thing that they're demanded to do? Otherwise, they'll be punished, because it started out that way as a child, as a toddler, as an infant. If you're bad, I'm going to take your toy away. If you don't do what I asked you to do, I'm going to take your video games away. If you don't clean up your room, you're not going to be able to, watch a show tonight. And I will tell you this, my friends, I have had to stop myself, and I've caught myself several times doing this with my own daughter. We don't do that. We don't take away things, excuse me, from her. And I'm just reminded of something that I did that I got to correct. But We don't take away things because that's a temporary solution. What's she going to do when she's not around? The important thing is to get them to understand that that behavior is unacceptable, not just to others, but it should be unacceptable to themselves, and to be to stay in their word, because their word is everything. And when everything else is gone, only your character remains. So we have a situation here that is starts at a very young age, and we need to tear down the house. The whole thing, the whole system needs to be destroyed as we know it today. And that's what is taking place. Because every time somebody, a police officer, brutalizes a peaceful protester, every time a police officer or city council member, you know, restricts our rights, our mayors, our school boards, forcing vaccination upon children. And now Pfizer is trying to do an emergency use authorization for ages 5 to 11. My friends, they are sterilizing our population and killing those who don't have enough vitamin D in their system, quite frankly. This is exposing all, okay? You can't get a weed if it's still in the ground and you can't see it. It's got to come up out of the ground and you see it and then you go. But if you just trim it, it's going to keep growing and it's going to ruin your garden. But if you get it at the root, that particular weed will never grow again. And what's happening is all the weeds are being exposed and exposing themselves, and we have to get them at the root. The people that we have voted into office are gone. They'll never hold office again. The people who have served us, meals but are now forcing us to be vaccinated to come into the restaurant, we will never eat at their restaurant again, any restaurant they create. Because this is where we go internally here and make the decisions that we must make to transform this planet. We can't go back to CNN. We can't go back to Fox. We can't go back to any of these news stations or these people, these actors, because they have absolutely put humanity in a place of detriment. Our species is at risk because of these assholes that are on television. The people that own these stations and the people who carry out their orders. Never again. These doctors, these nurses, these hospitals, these universities, we're not done here yet. They can never hold the public trust ever, ever, ever again. We are the new news. We find out about something, we check, make sure, and then, okay, That's fact. We check our feelings, we check our code at the door. Is this true? Is this relevant? Is this factual? It's not about our feelings. It's not about what we have invested in a particular narrative. That's our ego. And like I said last night, that's our protection mechanism. But the only thing that it protects is our ego. Okay. And here we go. Happy Friday, folks. We are now 1,465 beautiful humans in the theater. Welcome, one and all. My name is David Snedeker. This is the Indoctrination. And I am glad to be here with you on this Friday night. And away we go. Let me get us to the show notes, my friends. The show notes can be found on the IndoctriNATION.com under Hot Zone. Actually, I'm going to show you another place where they're at. Right there on the front page, my friends, here. Okay. The IndoctriNATION.com, theindoctrination.com. Watch live. You can always find us here on Twitch. By the way, how's my sync on Twitch? I was working on that today and I was having no luck. And just click on the show notes, my friends, and that'll take you to TGI Friday. Okay. And here we are. Tonight on the Indoctrination with David Snedeker, where the news unlocks the map, explosion on the House floor. I cannot wait to share that with you and watch it myself. It's just a press release, both of them. That's where the media comes in, my friends. Okay. It's just a press release. Why is my camera not there? There we go. And short on jobs, drops, deltas, decodes, and much more. Show contributors Trump at 17, Stephanie Wall, Jim Rice, Brenda Kuhn, Greta Dice, Chris, Jen Davis, Melissa Grzybowski, and Christy Kilburn. Folks, if you send us some good stuff, some good digs, some good dives, we're going to give you credit if we use it in the show, even if we, by the way, don't have we've already seen it sometimes, because we want you to understand how much we value your input, and we want you also to get in the habit of doing your own homework here. This is very interesting, my friends. This is following an 8-month investigation. The Senate Judiciary Committee releases a report on Donald Trump's scheme. Okay. How, by the way, how partisan is this, right? The scheme, to pressure DOJ and overturn the 2020 election. Okay. Dick Durbin, America was only half a step away from full-blown constitutional crisis. Now, here's what's important to understand. Okay. This is so important. If we think we're winning, okay, and this is in sports as well. If we think we're winning, we don't want to rest on our laurels. We don't want to let up. When we talk about winning in this whole thing that's going on right now, all right, what's going on here is that we cannot let up, because they've still got tricks up their sleeves. I still think China's going down, my friends. Here's what's so important to understand. This Evergrande situation is going to tank China. Okay, they're the what do you call it? Factories in China are down to like one a day. The supply chain that's locked up, all the ports. Okay, people aren't getting their businesses aren't getting their parts. and China has nowhere to go with them. All right. So this is a huge problem that's occurring in China, and it's going to be massive. All right. So they need to do something. So I'm expecting something big from China, and certainly from those who know that the truth about the election is coming out. So they have to spin it as it's a tactic, a scheme by President Donald Trump, okay, to overturn the election, okay? Dick Durbin is as dirty as the day is long, okay? Today's report shows the American people just how close we came to a constitutional crisis thanks to a number of upstanding Americans in the Department of Justice. Donald Trump was unable to bend the department to his will, but it was not due to lack of effort. Donald Trump would have shredded the Constitution to stay in power. We must never allow this unprecedented abuse of power to happen again. My friends, this is these are the deep state responding, okay? And basically, we were seeking justice. There still hasn't been justice that's been had by the DOJ. We saw yesterday that the DOJ dropped the 5 governors that sent our greatest generation back into the nursing homes. She didn't have an answer for that, did she? Right? She did not have an answer for that.
Wondering what's for dinner?
Yeah. Right? And they dropped that, but they're going after, moms and dads that are showing up at school board meetings. Folks, you can't make this stuff up. All right. And here's Dick Durbin. Here we go.
I'm not sure most Americans are familiar with. Who is he exactly, and what did you find he did in the days around January 6th and in that attempt to overturn the election?
Jeffrey Clark played an outsized role in the effort of the President of the United States to overturn the results of the last election. I don't know how he came on the scene originally. We think it might have been through a
How's the sound?
Republican congressman. He was head of the civil division in the Department of Justice. And the acting attorney general at the time, Jeffrey Rosen, and his deputy attorney general, Richard O'Donoghue, noticed that all of a sudden his name was popping up in conversations with the White House. And he was making statements to people about what the Department of Justice should do, certainly not within his responsibilities as the head of the civil division. Ultimately, he became the choice of the president, Donald Trump, to replace Jeffrey Rosen when Rosen and Donahue resisted the president in his efforts to subvert the election.
And you find direct pressure from the White House with Mark Meadows, putting pressure on the Department of Justice, Jeffrey Rosen, and up.
Take a good look at these faces, folks. These are the faces that will not be able to get a cup of coffee in the new world.
Others and saying you need to initiate investigations of fraud in the elections that President Trump lost, state by state elections. So what was Mark Meadows' role here in your investigation?
We have to recall that it's been a long tradition between the Department of Justice and the White House as to contacts made suggesting activity by the Department of Justice. I think that the strongest pillar was established during the Watergate era, when they saw Richard Nixon trying to manipulate the White House. You remember the Saturday Night Massacre and all that followed from that. And so they established standards that basically said there are a limited number of people and a limited purpose for the contacts and communications between the White House and Department of Justice. I'm sorry to say Mr. Meadows broke that very basic standard and started pummeling the Department of Justice under Jeffrey Rosen, trying to get them to take actions and investigate things one after the other. It was a clear breakdown in what was supposed to be a trusting relationship between the two.
Yeah, so straight up propaganda, folks. And here's the thing: is that there's still people that don't believe that this is propaganda. And don't forget, MSNBC, my friends, is that's Microsoft. Okay, MSNBC is Microsoft. Excuse me. And that's Bill Gates, as we know. Yeah. So this is President Trump's letter responding to this. Okay. I've sent a letter to the U.S. National Archives and Records Administration in defense of the office of the presidency, the Constitution, vital principles of separation of powers, and on behalf of our great nation. The radical left Democrats tried the Russia witch hunt. They tried the fake impeachments, and now they're trying once again to use Congress to persecute their political opponents. Their requests are not based in law or reality. It's just a game to these politicians. They don't care about our country or the American people. We have a link for you to that letter. My function was to save our country and survive. Save our country and survive. A few statements from President Trump. Big Michigan rally coming up on October 12th on the Capitol steps in Lansing, where patriots will demand a forensic audit of the 2020 presidential election scam. The voter fraud is beyond what anyone can believe. Anyone who cares about our great country should attend, because unless we look to the past and fix what happened, we won't have a future or a country. Matt DePerno, Representative Steve Cara, and Christina Caramo, who I have endorsed, will be there. Let's go, Michigan. Don't let us down. Folks, if you're in Michigan, try to get there to that. I want to share with you Jim Jordan here, okay? And let me get it's funny. You know, the account that I used, I actually, paid YouTube money for, so that I could get all these things, commercial free. But that was the account that got terminated, and it's happened to me several times. So I just need to get an account with one that's not terminated and pay with that. All right, my friends, check this out here.
The gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Jordan, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The previous member just said bemoan the results and talked about the big lie. Well, how about the big lies? How about all the lies the Democrats have told us over the last couple of years? Democrats told us the protests in the summer of 2020 were peaceful. Democrats told us the dossier was real. Democrats told us Trump colluded with Russia. We had a $30 million investigation done by Bob Mueller that said that wasn't true. Democrats told us the Russian bounty story was true. Democrats told us COVID didn't start in a Chinese lab. No, didn't start there. It was a bat to a pangolin to a hippopotamus to Joe Rogan, and we get no. And then Democrats for 4 years told us the 2016 election was stolen. They could investigate that for 4 years. We're not allowed to question some concerns we have about the 2020 election for 4 minutes, but they could investigate that for 4 years. In fact, on January 6, 2017, Democrats objected to more states than Republicans objected to on January 6, 2021. Mr. Raskin himself objected to the state of Florida, to certifying the results from the state of Florida on January 6, 2017. But we're not allowed to ask questions. I mean, they objected to the state of Alabama. Alabama, a state that President Trump won by 30 points. They can object to Alabama, but we're not allowed to object to Pennsylvania, where in the run-up to that election, they changed their election law in unconstitutional fashion. We're not allowed to object to that or do an audit in Arizona. Give me a break. Mr. Becker, the chairwoman, in her opening statement, the chairwoman criticized the fact that private funds were used to finance the Arizona audit. Do you share her criticism of that?
I do, in the sense that it was untransparent. They resisted any kind of transparency to that endeavor. My organization.
The fact that Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg gave over $400 million for the election itself?
Yes, I was just getting to that. Actually, my organization received over $60 million from Mr. Zuckerberg and Ms. Chan to grant to any state that wanted to apply for purposes of conducting voter education for
How many million?
over $60 million that my organization granted to the states.
That's fine.
Yeah, it was all done transparently. We put out in March of this year, and I'm sure you've read it, Representative Jordan. We put out a report, a full transparent report listing all of the states that applied, 23 states, some of them very blue, like Connecticut, some of them very red, like South Carolina. The exact amounts that went to each state and what the money went
I got a
for.
question here. It's okay for private funds to be used to run the election. It's not okay for private funds to be used to audit an election. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is transparency is paramount, and that transparency should be done under any circumstances. Ideally, private funds wouldn't be used for election administration. What would, Madam Chair,
I'd like some transparency on how that $400 million was used to run the election, and exactly what your organization did with the over 50 million I think you said you received. Mr. Bennett, there were three numbers that were pointed out in the audit that I just want to get your reaction to. Well, first of all, is auditing a bad thing? Auditing an election, is that a bad thing?
Absolutely not. In fact, it's already in state law that the counties do a limited audit. The Senate did a full forensic audit in this situation.
Yeah, but normally we think auditing is a good thing. It just keeps everything. It's accounting. It's an understanding of what actually took place. We normally do that. Why do Democrats hate audits?
You'd have to ask the Democrat. I don't know why they hate audits. To me, we have an auditor general office in the state of Arizona. Every state agency is audited every 3 or 4 years, some annually. Everyone seems to support that. I think audits of elections are warranted as well.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, they tried to audit the 2016 election. They're still trying to do it. They still haven't accepted the results from the 2016, but we're not allowed to ask questions and do a few audits on the 2020 election. I got three numbers I want to run by you that were in the actual audit, Arizona. 23,344 mail-in ballots from a different address, 9,044 more ballots returned by a voter than were sent to that voter, and 5,295 ballots with the same name and birth date from a different county than were sent to the voter. Can you tell me about those three numbers and what those findings, what they may, just tell me what your thoughts on those three numbers.
Well, the first number was the 23,000. My recollection is that 15,000 of those 23,000 were voters who moved within Maricopa County just prior to the election. That does not make them ineligible to vote in the county. So there's probably nothing wrong with those 15,000. There was 6,000 of that 23 that was thought by the auditors to be folks that moved out of Arizona just prior to the election. And if so, probably shouldn't have been allowed to vote. But when they looked at the voter registration of those 6,000, it was divided equally, 2,000 Republicans, about 2,000 Democrats, and about 2,000 no party designation. So we don't know whether or not those, what the votes were on those ballots.
6,000. That was 6,000.
That was about 6,000, yes. The other two numbers that you mentioned are numbers that the auditors determined to be questionable based on their comparison of the final vote data released by Maricopa County compared to commercial databases. That has given rise to questions that Maricopa County says that they can answer. And so, as I said in my testimony, we welcome answers and verification of that from the county.
What about
The gentleman's time is expired, and maybe we can get these answered.
Brush your teeth in less than 10 seconds.
So this is, hold on, let me stop this. Yeah, so it's nice to have Jim Jordan up there. And what we're going to see in Michigan are more audits. And so thank you, Jim Jordan, for the great work you're doing. And, we need more people like him, no question about it. And we also need to make sure that we're taking care of the 2020 election so that we can get more people like him, because they're not going to let people like him in the Congress with the control that they presently have over the election process. My friends, I've got to stop here and just say we've got some Snedheads in the house. Dear couple to me, Jill and Norm Kelly. And Jill says, I love all my fellow Snedheads and leaders. Sad without this in my awakening journey. I need you all. Please pray for my man. He was diagnosed today with temporal arteritis, also called giant cell arteritis. He could go blind. Heart attacks and stroke are possible. And let me see. Not all of it would go in there. Are possible from this disease. He has diabetes also. Steroids will destroy his immune system. We all know that's not a good thing. Thank you all for your prayers. Much love to you all. Jill, Norm, I'm so sorry to hear that. And yet the power of prayer is strong. And also we're going to have some great resources as well. It would be great to put you in touch with to see what David Cohn has to say about such a thing. Dr. Chad and his fabulous wife, and so let's try to make some connections with you as well. And maybe this could be handled. Beth Hill told a great story on using natural medicine and herbs to heal. And so there's a lot of things that can be done outside of Western medicine, and don't be afraid to look there. And let's see what we can source for you all. Much love to you all, and we will keep you in our prayers. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that. But it's an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity to find great things, make great things happen. All right, my friends, let's get back to the virus, the mask, and the jab. Remember, this is, you may have seen this.
And a whistleblower at Pfizer recently released your internal emails. And what I want to know is, why did you write an email saying that you would prefer we do not discuss fetal tissue being used in laboratories and that's associated with vaccine?
Philip Dormitzer, Vice President, Chief Scientific Officer. These are not low-level people here. Copying Vanessa Gelman, we have an approved answer to this question, the question being about fetal tissue, which Vanessa can probably provide. HEK2932. What does that mean? Heck?
Human embryo kidney cells, and it was from experiment 293. From the perspective of corporate affairs, we want to avoid having the information on the fetal cell lines floating out there. We believe that the risk of communicating this right now outweighs any potential benefit that we could see, particularly with general members of the public who may take this information and use it in ways we may not want it out there.
How would you lie to the American public? Communications. I'd like to talk to you right now, since I'm with you. Should the American public trust Pfizer at this point, since a lot of whistleblowers have come out, and even we've exposed scientists saying that the antibodies are better than the vaccine itself?
So your antibodies are probably better at that point than the vaccination.
You know, how can the American public trust you guys at this point, Phil? You don't want to give us any comment about that tonight, Phil? Phil, we exposed everybody, just so you know, brother. Once again, we asked the questions, they run away. He did say we can contact his communications department, so that's what we'll do now, but that's how it goes. We ask the questions and they run. Who's next?
Be brave, do something. Who's next? Thank you, Project Veritas, for some fantastic work in the information war that we are in. And in the general war that we're in. This is a tragic story. The court sides with unvaccinated Michigan athletes. I'm sorry. the tragic story I read earlier, and that was that they're forcing, athletes to vax. But here, the court sides with the unvaccinated Michigan athletes in the mandate case. Okay. Court 16 unvaccinated athletes won another round in their legal battle to play sports despite Western Michigan University's mandate that all of its intercollegiate athletes get the COVID-19 vaccination shot. Its unanimous published decision, issued October 7th, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit in Cincinnati, Ohio, held that the university violated the athletes' First Amendment rights. Okay? Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. All 16 athletes had filed for religious exemptions, which, according to the court, the university ignored or denied. The court stated, the university put plaintiffs to the choice, get vaccinated or stop fully participating in intercollegiate sports. By conditioning the privilege of playing sports on plaintiffs' willingness to abandon their sincere religious beliefs, the university burdened their free exercise rights. The three-judge panel denied a request by the university to stay a lower court's preliminary injunction that stopped it from enforcing the vaccine mandate. The mandate would have barred the athletes from playing in games or even practicing with their teams unless they were immunized. So it's a great win for our clients and religious liberty. And this is the precedent that must go everywhere across the world. So fantastic. Former Australian member of Parliament says Pfizer and AstraZeneca paid lobbyists to direct Australia's leaders to push the vaccine mandates. Here we go.
I would say it's terrible. Yeah, I'd say that Premier is lying to them. I'd say that she's under an IPAC inquiry, that a particular lobbyist in Sydney controls the Liberal Party in Sydney, has told her that the only way she gets out of that inquiry is if she pushes the double jab. His clients are AstraZeneca, his clients are Pfizer. That's what I would say.
What about the business owners?
Hold on. If you let me answer your question, I'll answer it. No, that's what you asked me.
About people that are trying to open their businesses, people that are told they have to double.
Well, if you don't want me to answer the question, I'll answer the question to start with. That's what I'd tell them, and I'd say that what the Premier's telling them is not true, and that policy shouldn't be locked down. Businesses should be open, and the government's using this as an excuse to destroy them, and they know that.
Do you think that the Premier of New South Wales wants to destroy business?
I do.
Why would she do that?
Because she, as I tried to explain to you, that she's being directed by a lobbyist in Sydney who's being paid by AstraZeneca and by Pfizer tens of millions of dollars to get these policies through to make sure the vaccine is pushed. That's why. You asked the question, I gave you the answer, and that's my personal knowledge. And I'm happy to make a statement here to police or to anyone if they want to know what's going on. But that's
I'll play that again.
well, let me answer the question. I'll answer the question to start with.
Here it
That's
is.
what I'd tell them, and I'd say that what the Premier's telling them is not true, and that policy shouldn't be locked down. Businesses should be open, and the government's using this as an excuse to destroy them, and they know that.
Do you think that the Premier of New South Wales wants to destroy business?
I do.
Why would she do that?
Because she, as I tried to explain to you, that she's being directed by a lobbyist in Sydney who's being paid by AstraZeneca and by Pfizer tens of millions of dollars to get these policies through to make sure the vaccine is pushed. That's why. You asked the question, I gave you the answer, and that's my personal knowledge. And I'm happy to make a statement here to police or to anyone if they want to know what's going on. But that's all. I'll be doing that, but they'll be named. But not only that, what's more important, as I said, 46,000 people, 20,000 from the western suburbs of Sydney, has decided to join our party. And we do live in a democracy in Australia at the moment, and there is an election coming up, and the federal government will be held accountable. I'll just see if there's anyone else who wants to ask a question. No, definitely not. No. Well, I think in Australia we've got a very good system of approvals normally for vaccines over a 10-year period, normally 7 to 10-year period. And one of the major requirements is that there is substantial safety data at 2, 3, and 5 years. The other requirement is that there's safety studies for testing in pregnant women and for children. There's been no studies done of any of these vaccines. And what I'm in favour of is protecting that approval system. That's what I'm in favour. I'm saying if a vaccine hasn't gone through those approvals, we shouldn't be willy-nilly putting it into the whole population. That's my point of view. But everybody, including members of our party, are entitled to their own opinion. Well, it's the option. It's freedom of choice in Australia. Well, I don't think there should be any law that requires people not to. I think a medical treatment should be between a patient and his doctor, really. He knows the individual's medical condition. It shouldn't be a blanket cover for anybody. It should be between the doctor. It should be a private thing. The Commonwealth Privacy Act requires medical records to be kept private. And we've long had that tradition in Australia. But suddenly we see directions from the police department in Queensland saying that people must be vaccinated or they lose their jobs, that teachers in New South Wales must be vaccinated or they lose their jobs, that there becomes a condition of employment that you take a medical treatment. Now, back in Nuremberg in 1947, the International Court of Justice said that was wrong. They said that individual, after following the treatments and experimentation that
the Nuremberg
World War II, they said
trials
individuals should have the right to decide what goes into their body and what doesn't. Section 51(23)A of the Australian Constitution prohibits coercion in relation to medical practitioners, would stop them from being coerced by any penalty or anything from giving the vaccine. And we see today that there is coercion taking place in our society, and we think it's wrong. And that's why Craig Kelly's got so much support, and that's why there's a big shift coming in the Australian electoral system, and it'll happen at the next election.
Queensland Police, so they have a jab.
Sorry?
You said Queensland Police have told people not to have a jab.
Well, there's a direction from the Queensland Police Commissioner requiring all officers to have a jab.
And health workers have been told the same.
I understand that. I'm not familiar with that direction. I am with the Queensland Police one. I think it's by the 4th of October for the Queensland Police, or they're not suitable for duty. And I think the nurses are by the end of September.
Unions agree.
Well, they do, and that's the sad thing, because we normally have a diversity of decision of opinion in Australia, and the media has always been famous, the Australian media, for many years, reporting two sides of the argument. And there are two sides of this argument, and people should be informed, and people should have the right to know. And we're saying they're not having the right to know, and they're not having the political choice when you get all of our political parties saying the same thing. And there is good reason not to say it. Now, that's one of the reasons that we're doing what we're doing.
What do you think?
I'll just check if I'm happy to answer you, but I'll just ask if has anyone else got a question they want to ask? We'd have to ask him, right? But
so there's not much left of that, and you can watch the rest of that. But this is Clive Palmer, says former Australian politician, and says that Gladys Berejiklian is being blackmailed basically by the Pfizer and and AstraZeneca paid lobbyists to direct Australia's leaders to push the vaccine mandates. We've known this. We've known this. This is no surprise. But here's what I want to bring to your attention, and that is that if I was in that room and that man said what he said about what I just said, okay, I would be like, whoa, 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 pick me. I'd be like Horseshack, Mr. Carter, whoa, 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 right? Until he called me. And I would say, could you please expound on what you just said about the paid lobbyists, and what evidence do you have to that effect? Because we have to go there. But what told me that was a room of mainstream media was the fact that they didn't follow up to that statement with real questions. They went about this or about that. They had already had their pre-approved questions to ask this man from their overlords, and they didn't press the issue on this huge boom. And we know this is what's going on, but now we have a former member of Australian Parliament who says this, and they don't jump all over that and say, tell us more. We need to hear more about this, because my friends they're starving at home and they can't move and they're suffering from depression, and we can't go 5 kilometers away from our home, and we can't cross certain borders, and we can't be outside, and and it's all absurd. But they're going to challenge this dude. That's the mainstream media, my friends. We're going to get into something here very soon that if you haven't seen it, is going to blow you away here. Okay. And that is, oh, by the way, okay, this is really important that you see this. Okay. Because we're going to do this story on YouTube about a inoculation facility, a portable vaccination site that was attacked by, anti-mandate, anti-vaxxers. Look at the ad that YouTube is running here. Same day scheduling and testing, showing people sticking these things up their nose. Look at this. Remember that? Remember that song I told you about that they had in a Malibu school? Twirl, twirl, twirl the swab gently up your nose to the sound, to the sound of row, row, row your boat. Help keep your community safe, because if you don't get your test and your jab, you're not keeping your community safe. It's so obvious. They literally ran this ad on this story.
System God gave me. I feel like I've made it 18 months into this pandemic and I'm okay. I'm healthy. There's nothing wrong with me. I should be able to work. They let me in the school building 3 months ago, and now because they want to play political games, they're not letting us in the building.
Unpaid leave. My friends, you could, as a police officer, you could shoot and literally kill somebody and you would be on paid leave. De Blasio? You mean Warner Wilhelm? Okay. That is, by the way, Deb, you dialed into that. Sounds like, looks like, and sounds like your jam there. But great stuff there. So this is what I wanted to show you, okay? Because this is all about the media. The media, what we saw on display in Australia there without following up to that question. And look at this here. This is Joe Biden's vaccine mandate from Liz Harrington. Doesn't exist. It's just a press release. And that may be part of the plan. Okay. 2032. Okay. Part of the plan. Let's go to 2032. Is that what we're looking at here? Let's go to Q. And by the way, 2032 is Clinton Trump endorsements by daily newspapers. Look at this. You don't think this is rigged? You don't think this is a rigged system? Do you believe actual polls were conducted? Pre-election polls, HRC favored 90 to 98%. Reconcile against results. Why is there emphasis put on polls to find human nature? The general psychological characteristics, feelings, and behavioral traits of humankind regarded as shared by all humans. Point one, fake news logic. If people believe the odds are hopeless, their candidate will win. Do they still make the effort to vote? Right? Point two, if people believe the odds are overwhelming, their candidate will win. Do they still make the effort to vote? Does one cancel two? Point three, fake news logic. If people believe the majority of people feel a certain way about something, do they go with the majority to feel accepted? Okay. Now, on this point, that if they know that some of Hillary's voters would not show up, they didn't care because they already had those votes taken care of. If the majority of people believe something, does that imply it must be right? The majority of people getting the jab, the majority of people thinking that COVID is a real pandemic? Does this give rise to we are the majority mindset? Define echo chamber. A metaphorical description of a situation in which beliefs are amplified or reinforced by communication and repetition inside a closed system. Prior to new platforms, networks connecting people, did the old guard have full control? Did the old guard learn from this mistake? 2016 election and now tasking all new platforms, networks to censor. When you are awake, you can see clearly. Q. Snedheads, you all see clearly, yeah? We all see clearly now. Okay. This is a direct link to Joe Biden says it. It's released through the press. Everybody obeys it. It's not a law. It's not a law. Christy, did you find that one on California? Because there's a California, same story. Newsom has not put together a bill of, the mandating of the vax. There's no bill. And that's exactly what they've done. They're using media to deceive us. Do you see that? They're using media to deceive us. Okay. Here's a former FEMA whistleblower, my friends. Okay. Sorry, let me get that. Let me get to that. Okay. Former FEMA whistleblower.
They have placed a
Celeste Saloon explains that the corona PCR test is implanting a microchip. So the nasopharyngeal COVID-19 PCR tests were never tests at all. They are implanting tests inserting nanobots called nanites with a bioweapon payload for the brain while at the same time harvesting DNA. The PCR test is inserted straight into the, hold on, let me pull that up. So let me go back to that. Nasopharynx, behind the nose and forehead where your eyes are. It's at the blood-brain barrier next to your pineal gland. I believe they are knocking out people's senses with these bioweapons and killing human intuition and your ability to cognitively see what they're doing to us. They're knocking out our senses and targeting the brain with nanites that carry a payload, as Celeste spoke about in previous videos. This is war, serious warfare. Decline the test, refuse the masks, and never let them stick you with a needle. My friends, how long ago was I saying this to you?
A magnetic beacon. So not only will people be biologically changed, but they will be tagged. And this is owned and
folks, Celeste is legit, just so you know. I've listened to other things she's done.
Operated by Rockefeller. This is part of the Barcode for Life initiative to tag and identify all life forms. No longer will any life form be pure. So that's basically what they're doing, is tweaking us enough that we can be patented. This COVID situation is the first deployment of a construct, a new life form. They have learned how to fuse biological life and robotics. And the purpose of that is for extermination, because they don't want anything of the old world. They want a new world. And they want, by 2025, all the old humans eradicated. And any human from now on basically has to be engineered in a laboratory and enhanced and augmented and part of the matrix. They are retooling and rewiring our bodies. Each one of us right now has 20 to 30,000 nanoparticles. They wanted to put chips in people's brains, but they didn't want to have to do surgery. So after many, many years, they came up with a gel. This gel is called hydrogel or quantum dot, Bill Gates' quantum dot. So what will happen with the vaccine is you get it injected into you, and then it assembles, it self-assembles, and then it swarms through your body, and it crosses your blood-brain barrier, and it takes over your brain. It harvests your fluids in your body, your moisture, as it grows, and it grows until we are no longer human. We are consumed. We are a node in the quantum computer, and the biological self dies because there is nothing left. The only way to avoid it is to say no to the COVID test, to the vaccination. There will be a hydrogel mask where every breath that you take, you will be breathing in these hydrogel particles. They've deployed all these synbios, nanosynbios into our body. They can carry a poison, and it is told, it gets its marching orders from the frequency that is being aimed at it. Like I said, with the masks, the COVID test, and the vaccine, it is critical not to take it. It's bioaccumulative, which means the more you get of it, it stays in your body and it will not go out.
So thank you, Celeste, for this. This is, folks, I was saying this over a year ago, and because I listen to people like Celeste and I read people like this, right? And this is real. That's why I've not done the test up there. And all they need If you need to do a test, all they need is your DNA, and they can get that from spit or blow your nose and roll it on it. Okay. Um, so that's the real deal there. Okay. This is very interesting. Okay, hold on.
Vaccine
Here we go.
was 94.5% effective.
The so-called 95% efficiency rate touted by the pharmaceutical companies was misleading, to say the least. A peer-reviewed study by The Lancet confirms the vaccine efficiency of 95% reported by the vaccine manufacturers was referring to relative risk reduction rather than absolute risk reduction, as would be standard. Your actual risk of reduction of getting COVID after the vaccine has then been reduced by 1.2% with Moderna, 1.2% with Johnson & Johnson, and by less than 1% with Pfizer. Meaning after you receive the vaccine, on average, you are 99% just as likely to get COVID. This raises three questions. By getting a vaccine, how would you be helping other people? If you have natural immunity, as 50% of the population likely does, why would you still be required to get the vaccine? And if the vaccine doesn't stop the spread, why would you need a vaccine passport? Once you've applied a moment of critical thinking, you'll find anyone advocating these requests is either uninformed, irrational, or has an ulterior motive for suggesting everyone should be vaccinated. Let's summarize this by crunching a few official numbers. The Pfizer NNV is 117, meaning 117 people need to be vaccinated to prevent one COVID case. That's to prevent a COVID case, not a COVID death. Since the median survival rate of the virus itself is 99.86, that means 999 out of 1,000 cases survive. So you would need to prevent 1,000 cases to prevent one death. That means you would need to vaccinate 117,000 people to save one life. By the first half of 2021, about 134 million people in America have been fully vaccinated. So far, 10,355 people have died in the first 6 months of 2021 in the US alone. That means 56 people a day are dying immediately after receiving the vaccine. Due to underreporting, that actual number of deaths is likely significantly higher, and officials and CDC whistleblowers estimate it to be at 51,800. But we'll continue with the officially released numbers. 134 million people vaccinated divided by 10,355 official deaths from the vaccine results in 12,940. This means COVID vaccines kill, at a minimum, 1 out of every 12,940 people that are vaccinated. So if you vaccinate 117,000 people to save one life, 9.04 people would die from the vaccine. When you average out the age groups, you find that you are 904% more likely to die from the COVID vaccine than for it to save your life. That's bad enough with the official deflated numbers. With a more likely estimate of 51,800 deaths, that means you are 4,520% more likely to die from the COVID vaccine than to be saved by one. And the likelihood of developing a lifelong debilitating disease is even greater.
That's a fantastic video and some really, really good math. And by the way, like Patty said, and we already know that those numbers are very, very conservative. As a matter of fact, we think those numbers are very low in terms of how many people have died from the jab. And they said, maybe they estimate it's over 50,000. And I think that's more accurate. But even if you just use the smaller numbers, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. None. This is interesting. This is from Outlaw JW. Confirmed. This is all dumb as fuck. Buffalo Bills Cole Beasley, unvaccinated, forced to quarantine after testing negative for COVID. Why? Because he came in contact with a fully vaccinated trainer who had the virus. just to wrap your head around this. I scratch my head. I'm like, okay, this is, he's unvaxxed, has to quarantine, even though he tested negative because he came in contact with somebody who was fully vaccinated, but who had the virus. Are you kidding me? Okay.
If you hadn't had the vaccine,
Lindsey
you would've
Graham,
had
by the way, we know he's dirty. Okay. But listen to how people are responding to him now.
that. If you hadn't had the vaccine, you ought to think about getting it because if you're my age, I didn't tell you to get it. You ought to think about it. Well, I'm glad I got it. 92% of people in the hospitals in South Carolina have been vaccinated. Got it?
They're calling bullshit.
So I'm with you on let's don't mandate it. I'm with you that it's probably unconstitutional, but I am not going to legitimize what I think is the truth. The truth is that unvaccinated.
I'm gonna lose my job in 60 days. You gotta stop it now.
From who?
From the U.S. government, the Navy.
Yeah, so I'm with you. So I just don't know. Are you active?
No, I'm a civil servant.
Well, here's one
I
thing.
am a veteran.
Okay, I'm a veteran too. How many of you have taken measles shots?
No.
In the military, they can say you gotta get vaccinated. I think that's a dumb idea. You know why? We shouldn't be driving people away from serving. Like if you're a healthcare worker and you don't want to get vaccinated, why do you want to get people to quit being nurses?
That's his reason? It's not because it violates our constitutional rights, you son of a bitch. It's because you don't want to drive people away from serving. That shouldn't be the reason that Lindsey Graham is saying that it's absurd. It's violating our constitutional rights. First Amendment and our Fourth Amendment.
I trust you to make a decision good for you. So are you against the vaccine? That's what I'm at. You're going to have to get somebody who is control of one of the houses.
We're going to have to get somebody to replace Lindsey Graham. That's what we're going to have to do. He's a U.S. senator. He's telling this guy he's going to have to get somebody.
So if we had the House, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll try our best.
We're going to move to the next question, folks.
We'll try our best. Lindsey Graham won't be able to get a cup of coffee in his state of South Carolina. Telling you, folks. I'm not like making threats. Like I'm not going to be in South Carolina. I'm not going to be serving coffee. I'm not making threats. If I was, I'd say, if he came in for a cup of coffee now, I'd tell him to fuck off. I would. I'd ask him a few questions first, right? To totally put him on the spot. And I would say, we don't serve your kind here. My kind? What do you mean, my kind? Traitors to the American people, to humanity, and to your oath to the Constitution. You go get your coffee somewhere else, punk. Yeah. I can't wait until the fifth wave when the people with 4 shots are blaming it on the people with 3 shots. That's the level of absurdity we're at, my friends. Okay. This is fantastic. This gentleman is fantastic. You gotta pay attention to this. All right.
Dear white liberals, 28% of Black Americans aged 18 to 44 years old are vaccinated in New York, meaning The vaccine passports deny over 72% of the Black community their services. Since you think voter ID is racist, you must surely think that vaccine passports are as well. But you don't. Instead, you want to demonize everyone who refuses the COVID-19 vaccine. So let me tell you exactly why the Black community is the most resistant to this vaccine. Let's go back to a time when the government decided that the Blacks would be used as guinea pigs without their knowledge. From 1932 to 1972, the government conducted the infamous Tuskegee experiment on Black men in an attempt to understand the effects of syphilis. Participants were told that they were being treated for bad blood. We were lied to. From 1965 to 1966, the government conducted experiments on prisoners, the majority of them being Black, to understand the effects of Agent Orange. Prisoners were told that this was simply dermatology research. We were lied to. From 1960 to 1971, the government conducted Cold War radiation experiments on poor Black cancer patients in an attempt to gain an understanding on how much radiation the human body could take. Patients were told that this would help cure their cancer. Once again, we were lied to. The list of atrocities and deceit goes on, yet white liberals seem to think that they know what's best for us. The truth is, Black Americans have authority over our own bodies, not you. We're tired of being controlled, manipulated, and lied to. The bottom line is this: we truly won't know the effects of this vaccine for at least a few years. After all that we've been through, we are allowed to be skeptical. So my question to you, white liberals, is why are you applauding forced vaccinations on those who don't trust it? On those who come from a lineage of trauma due to dark history? I thought Black Lives Matter.
And taking their jobs away from them, taking away their ability to make a living. This is not going to stand, my friends. If you're down about what's going on right now, and I get that you are, I'm telling you, this is going to shift. Why? Because we're going to shift it. We're not waiting on anybody. Look what I'm doing. Look what you're doing. Look what people are doing here. Okay? This is not going to stand at all. This is not going to stand. This, my friends, is our dear Beth Hill in Washington State. No tyranny. Okay? This is what we're doing, folks. Okay? This is what's happening. We're not putting up with this anymore. So what are we doing? We're getting busy. We're getting busy. And we're not going to take this anymore. Okay? Facebook show is gone on live. Diana, let me check. Let me see what's going on. It looks like it's still there with no note. Are you guys seeing it? Are you guys having a problem seeing me on Facebook? It looks like it's still there. Okay. Let's get back to it. How about that? How about that, man? Okay. By the way, Air Force, that was Billy Prempa. Billy Prempa who did that story there. Okay. And he is let me pull that up. Okay. I want to show you, excuse me. This is who he is. Okay. Billy Prempa, he's a congressional candidate, Republican candidate for the New Jersey 9th Congressional District. Okay. Please follow Billy Prempa. Billy Prumpa right here, Republican candidate for New Jersey's 9th Congressional District. All right. Oh, and by the by, hold on, let me see here. By the way, let me pull this up for you here. Okay, so check out Billy Prumpa. He's on Twitter still. Hopefully he'll stay there, but we'll see what happens. And by the way, also, my friends, fellow Snedhead, okay, Pete Palma. All right. Pete is on his 47th episode. He's been a Snedhead for quite a while, for years. And where did he go? Why can't I show you that? Okay, hold on. And he has his own, he's created his own show. He's a very, very funny dude. He's created his own show, and it's called the Pete Palma Program. So you can give him some love on YouTube, the Pete Palma, Palma program. Okay. Like La Palma, the what do you call it? The volcano. And he'll give you a little promo here, but then he'll take you into Rumble. Okay. And in Rumble is where he's doing his show. And there he is. There's Pete. Look at Pete. Look at that dude, man. There we go.
And she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then there's more fat girls around. They're all fat girls.
I don't know what he's talking about. I came in at a very odd moment
And
here.
he's like, you know, there's so much more. It's so much deeper than it just came out with a bill that happens to be red. I mean, believe me, everything in our physical.
But not the right context or the right situation. But I believe he's talking about that the people that are talking about the problems with the vax also have obesity and other issues that they're not addressing, right? But
keep showing us that you really
very, very smart individual, very funny. Please check him out. Show him some Snedhead love. And Pete, very happy that you're doing this show, and happy to support you. And I want to watch more of you. And we'll throw up a clip or two if you want to send me a clip that you think would be good. Happy to show it on the show. But folks, this is we're going to support all those who are trying to get the word out about what's going on here. And Pete does it with a little humor. So check him out. And so let's get back to the show notes, my friends. And this is an Ontario doctor who was forced to resign over forced vaccines. Says that 80% of ER patients with mysterious issues had both shots. 80%. Okay. Dr. Roshan Killian asked a hospital system CEO some tough questions about unethical behavior, and he deferred to the government. Okay. Recently resigned, and family practice physician, an emergency room doctor, that the Ontario health system and Grey Bruce Health Services crossed ethical lines throughout the pandemic. In a virtual meeting that included GBHS CEO Gary Sims and other staff members, Dr. Killian asked Sims a series of questions about what she believes is unethical behavior on behalf of the Ontario health system at all levels. Sims appeared to be unprepared for difficult questions pertaining to the ongoing rollout of vaccination mandates and vaccine segregation restrictions the Ontario health system is championing. Killian estimated that 80% of the patients she saw in the ER during the past month who had inexplicable symptoms were double vaxxed. Okay. Dr. Killian relocated to Owen Sound, a small city in Grey County, Ontario, from South Africa after previously working in British Columbia. When she resettled in Owen Sound with her family, she expressed to a local paper how happy she was to live here. Our recruitment to Owen Sound might have been by chance, but our choice to settle here was definitely not. Our 4 months in Owen Sound have been blessed. A little town with lots of souls, surrounded by beautiful landscapes, filled with welcoming residents and businesses, etc. We truly feel fortunate. And now she has to resign. Okay. She has to, possibly leave this place that she loves. All right. She's saying that informed consent mandating experimental vaccines has been linked to thousands, no informed consent, of deaths and injuries. Okay. This is what Sims said. Sims explained that because of the pandemic, certain procedural normalities will not take place, referring to informed consent and mandating experimental vaccines. In a pandemic, some of those, this is from Sims, okay? In a pandemic, some of those pieces that you think would be there, mechanisms of informed consent from the government, when you have lots of time to review stuff in a pandemic, they're going to pass mandates and they're going to pass laws and they're going to pass directives as needed to manage that pandemic, he said. And some of the things will feel like they're infringing on or taking shortcuts. They are doing that directly to save lives. Okay. He then stated there's a massive scientific group that has reviewed all the issues pertaining to the vaccines and their usage and rollout. This meeting took place on August 23rd. Since then, the Ontario government has admitted that at least one of the vaccines pushed on the public has caused serious heart problems in young men who are at virtually no statistical risk of suffering severely from COVID or from having heart problems. She stated that the Tri-County policy statement stipulates that an emergency situation does not warrant skirting protocols that protect the population from being put at risk due to medical experimentation. The Tri-Council policy statement is a Canadian guideline for the ethical conduct of research involving humans and/or human biological materials. As the vaccinations are still technically under experimental trial, they are being implemented under a research-based framework on the population. It was Killian's opinion that the ethical framework is being ignored, thus health workers and citizens are being forced to take something against their will that is not being proven to be safe and effective in the long run. Okay? There you have it. Okay? Biden and his administration only added 194,000 jobs in September. Okay. The slowest pace of the year in September. And then they blame it on the Delta variant, and the persistent shortage of workers restrained the ability of companies to hire, the Wall Street Journal reports. Yeah. The smallest gain since December of 2020 and down from the upwardly revised 366,000 jobs added in August. How many of those are being taken away because they didn't get the jab? Right? This is from Il Donaldo Trumpo. Expected jobs report, actual jobs report. Folks, we were watching this live, the show. This is the guy that got elected, right? No. And they're still saying that this guy is trying to subvert the election. No, not working. Okay. Okay. Hey, Todd, Cindy, I need to send you the Restream link. And I'm going to send that to you via email. And I'd love to have you on early tonight. I think I blew that. I told Todd I tried to get him on early. And sorry about that, dude. All right. We'll get you in here. And here we go. Here we go. Just send it to you. There we go. Announces to the world how many nukes we have. You can't make this any more inept, my friends. Okay. He publicly disclosed the size of the U.S. nuclear arsenal. The U.S. State Department. As of 2020, it consisted of 3,750 warheads. Okay. And they're releasing newly declassified information on the stockpile to update the information previously released in September 2017. Okay. Increasing the transparency of states' nuclear stockpiles is important in non-proliferation and disarmament efforts. They could easily extend that that security easily, and they should. That's unbelievable, and that just shows how inept they really, really are. Wow. This is Disclose Hub on Steve Bannon.
And to that point, Steve, it's important for us to recognize that Joe Biden is the largest child trafficker in the world right now. You come down here and you talk with the Border Patrol. Not only has Joe Biden made it impossible for law enforcement to do their job, made it impossible for us to secure the border. What's also happened is that kids are being sold to families, to people, to present themselves as a family. They walk across the border, and then those children are sent back across the border and used again. We're talking with a Border Patrol agent who came across one kid who'd been trafficked 17 times across the border.
17 times.
The largest human trafficker in the world right now.
17 times a child has been trafficked. How does that even happen? How does that even happen? Absolutely tragic. News out of Washington, the CIA is going to reorganize, put greater emphasis on China. Duh. Really? You got to be kidding me. Included creation of a new China mission center aimed at bringing more resources to study the rival country and better position CIA officers to collect information and analyze the country's activities. Wow. It will further strengthen our collective work on the most important geopolitical threat we face in the 21st century. You've got to be kidding me. Where the hell you been, guys? You know, CIA. They're way ahead of us. Hey there.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm throwing you a curveball tonight. Cindy's under the weather. She's just resting comfortably.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
She's had on today. Just busy. So she's just gonna go night.
All right. Good night, Cindy. Be well. Feel better. No problem. We can.
So sorry, guys. All you get's me tonight.
I know. We just lost a bunch of people.
Oh, did everybody leave?
Hey, sorry. Yeah, a little late. Got a late start tonight. Dude, you wouldn't believe the problems here. It's
Oh yeah, I would. I was dealing with them too.
Were you really?
Yeah, my computer, I have one of those. I paid like buku bucks for the 18-hour battery life. My son was a geek at Geek Squad. So he talked me into buying the really super long life battery. And I was like, I don't really need that. He said, Dad, you'll love it. and I have absolutely loved it. Well, I had like 65% of my battery when I opened it tonight, and I was messing around a little bit. And the next thing I looked at it, it was down to 6%. So there was some kind of a battery drain going on me. And then I went to charge it up and it wouldn't charge, and it was just a mess. So I unplugged it, shut it down, started it over, and it's back up again. So, but you know, that's not normal.
No.
I don't know how they do it, but those evil suckers can get in there like a mole.
Dude, it's unbelievable. I mean, I can't. I don't even want to get into it because it's just so frustrating. But I mean, literally,
we deal with this shit all the time.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not us. I swear.
No. I mean, I've got like, you know, a dude that puts together live shows. Like this is what he does on my computer. You know, JR from I'm sorry. Yeah, from John from England, from actually Poland. He's got access. He's on my computer dancing around and figuring stuff out. He's like, I don't know what's going on, man. I'm like, yeah, I don't either. And it's crazy. But
you
know,
see it everywhere though. A lot of programs are being, you know, God, I couldn't even imagine the shadow banning going on.
Oh, I know. I mean,
you know, I get during the show, I get people, you know, I'm right on the show and I have my friends that are even in town and they'll be like, hey, I can't get on Facebook. And I'm like, I'm on Facebook. And they're like, it's not even there. You know, and they've used Facebook a million times, you know, it's like they're regular watchers. So it's just crazy. You know, it's stuff we got to deal with. We just got to overcome.
Yeah, exactly. Terry says, are we fighting alien technology? I don't know.
More technology than we understand. I don't know if I go alien. Could be.
Yeah. Well, alien kind of has a tendency maybe to like put such a spin on it that most people won't buy into it, but it's definitely technology that we don't have the capability of. Yeah, I had a woman tell me I had to get curtains up on my bedroom because I'm being scanned. She's like really intuitive in the whole bit. And she says they have a technology and it's scanning. It can see
believe it
right through your windows and when you sleep.
They're probably scanning me too, Dave, and going, "Oh my God, we found another life form."
Barely. Yeah, so it's frustrating, but we'll keep on plugging, dude. That, you know what? It's fuel for me, and I know it is for you too.
Yep.
Because we know we're getting messed with, and yet we carry on because we're getting messed with. Because if we're getting messed with, you know, we're over the target.
Well, I don't think they're messing with complete and total idiots that are just making stupid false claims, you know.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I kind of feel like it's a badge of honor.
Right. Exactly. They're not going to waste their ammo on somebody that isn't even in the right ballpark. You know what I mean? That isn't even, you know, close to hitting it. So, but at any rate, hey,
So
did
you check Dee's been trying to send you something in your in Messenger and email, I believe.
Okay. Let me see.
There's been a lot. I've seen a lot of people trying to get your attention. So
okay, Dee sent a video. Is it this?
I don't know what it is, but yeah, you'll have to ask Dee.
Okay.
Wow.
Lynn sent it to me too. Here, let me just play it here. Here we go.
Woo, boy, you gotta hear this. And this was signed by 40 state representatives and state legislators, state senators from around the United States. And I'm going to read this to you.
Wendy Rogers.
And this is going to be a seminal moment. legislators to the American people. Reference the 2020 presidential election. To the citizens of the United States of America, we, the undersigned state legislators of the United States, are vested with the plenary power by our U.S. Constitution, Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2, to oversee the election of the President of the United States. It has come to our attention from an audit of 2.1 million ballots in the state of Arizona, complemented by an in-depth canvass of votes in Arizona.
A forensic
as well
audit.
as through multiple different data reviews of voting by independent experts, that our representative republic suffered a corrupted 2020 election.
Oh, we've been trying to tell you.
In addition to Arizona, sworn affidavits have accumulated from many states detailing rampant corruption and mismanagement in the election process. Fraud and inaccuracies have already been shown through multiple audits and canvasses in multiple states, as well as through lawsuits challenging the validity of election results in several counties in multiple states. We have come to the conclusion that all 50 states need to be forensically audited.
Boom!
Yeah.
Overturn that shit.
Should be scrubbed with a canvas of the voters to ensure future integrity of our elections. If results from these measures prove an inaccurate election was held, as has been shown in Arizona and is being shown in many other states, then it is clear that certification of many electors was improperly rendered in.
Overturn that shit. Woo, boy, you
Awesome.
gotta hear this.
And this was signed
So
by 40.
I got two questions about this. First of all, was this just today, Todd? Do you know?
That I don't know because I heard the information earlier this week.
Yeah, so we covered this basically last night, but I didn't see the speech.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, right. So thank you, Lynn, for sending me that. Also, Dee, thank you for finding that. And also, Dee, if you could, and Lynn, if you could, just let me know when this speech was. I would love the speech without the dude, but I'm happy for him for getting the word out there. But he was awesome. But oh, the other question I have is why I thought TikTok videos were like 45 seconds long.
Yeah.
That was
I
pretty
don't know
long.
anything about, I mean, I've never done a TikTok. I've seen some, and some do seem a little longer, but I thought they were pretty short.
I got to find out about that. I'm going to connect with this weekend. I'm going to finally have some time to connect with Ron, which is Rob Swade's buddy, and he wants to get us on TikTok to get the word out. So we'll figure that out.
Hey, well, let the CCP in on. They can check us out.
Yeah, exactly. I've been wanting to get them to watch, and every once in a while I'll look out for them, but I haven't seen them yet.
Well, I think they're too busy walking around behind Biden all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll put that in the show notes if we can. It's a TikTok video, so it's not easy, but I think we can do that. Thank you, bud. That's good. Good stuff. And how about? I just wanted to see. Did you get some good responses? I was trying to think up a good caption for the meme contest that you threw down today.
Oh yeah, we have to go through that. I watched a few. You know, I posted quite a bit today because I was feeling a little bit energetic today.
Good.
Felt, I felt like with football, football weekend coming up, Friday night high school, then you got Saturdays with college, and
Yep.
then you have Sundays with pro. I just wanted everybody to think about those crowds and how they're all packed in like sardines, screaming at the top of their lungs, and then then they have the next morning they have to take their kids to school and mask them up like they're
Yep.
going to catch something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insanity. Or how about watching the Emmys on Sunday night? And oh, TikTok has 3-minute videos now. Stephanie says, "Thank you, Stephanie." 1 to 3 minutes on TikTok. Okay, cool.
Huh.
Yeah, if anybody's got really great experience on TikTok, please reach out to me too. But Todd, and how about watching the Emmys on Sunday night, with maskless and then sending your kid, the next morning to school,
Yeah.
right?
And then you have, what was it, Talib that was talking about she only wears her mask when she has GOP
Yeah.
people following her around. And
Yeah.
we've seen all of these idiots out there. I mean, come on, people. That people just have to share. We have to share all this to our idiot friends who think we're crazy,
Yeah.
It's like I don't know how you get people so scared that they don't see in front of them.
Yeah.
It's amazing
Well,
that the indoctrination is so incredibly strong.
Dude, it's insane. I mean, it's just insane. And by the way, I mean, look at all the indoctrinated that think that the Arizona audit proved that Biden won Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And Biden spiked the football today on the numbers about missing the numbers by about 305,000 jobs. He went out in front of the camera today. Of course, he didn't take any questions. He walked out there and he was smiling and happy and saying that the unemployment rate went from 5% to 4.8%. Not at all talking about the participation rate, which is the big number that, when 40% of the population is not looking for a job, then you're only talking about the active people that are searching for a job.
Right.
So that changes the numbers.
Yep.
But he was spiking the football and then going on, that the unemployment rate dropped to 4.8% because of his success in vaccinating.
Yeah.
And then he bragged about a company that was like 70% vaccinated and then went to 99. I think it was one of the companies up in Michigan when he was up there. Or was it Chicago?
I think he said it wasn't it the airline? One of the airlines?
It could have been. And was it United? I think it was United.
Yeah, it was United Airlines. Yeah.
And notwithstanding that 600 of them got fired.
Yeah.
So there, you can eliminate 600 people, and then of what you have left, you ought to be 100% vaccinated, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Fudging
the numbers is not even hard to do.
Hey, did you see Biden without the tattoos on his arms?
Yeah, I
Robert.
did. Yeah, when he was the hairy monkey man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, he was hairy, but he was sporadically hairy in the one in his first inoculation.
Uh-huh.
And then the second one, he looked like a Sasquatch.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. Amanda Sperling sent me the video of Wendy Rogers. Yeah, I thought so. This was old. This was September 26th. So yeah, like you said a week ago, dude.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we because we covered this.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the video, but I got the information somehow.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I can't remember if I saw this or not, but this is so that was September 26th. And by the way, guys, that's why we need to get the videos in early so Christy and Barbara and Jen can kind of make sure that we're not putting something on that's already been out there for a while. Yeah, I mean that's why I'm not going live anymore with some of these videos because it's we've already covered it or or what have you.
Yeah.
But I am grateful. I am grateful to those our beautiful Dee and Lynn for because we didn't see that. We didn't see this video.
Right. Yeah, we didn't play it, and it is nice to have a little something going your way, supposedly,
Yeah, yeah, it's a great vibe. It's a great
Yeah.
vibe, man. To hear that, hear the crowd react as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Joel McMichael said maybe the first dose made him hairy. So that's I didn't even equate that, but yeah, maybe he got really hairy after the first dose.
And this is interesting. While she had my attention, let's see, Lynn sent me this. The Times Nation for the next pandemic will have gigantic mRNA factories in India. Interesting. Yeah, they're already planning for the next pandemic already.
Sorry, ain't gonna happen.
Yep. Yeah. Because that dude's going to be in Gitmo.
I'd be shocked as hell if he's still around. I mean,
I
honestly,
know.
we don't know, but
Yeah.
you
I'm
know,
with you. I don't think he is.
I don't think. I
yeah.
think when his wife turned on him, I think that was a big deal.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I think that spoke volumes.
Yep, that was kind of symbolic of that's the way the so-called elite communicate. By
Yep.
symbolism.
Yep. Yep. And by the way, let's see. This is and Roy had sent me that too, the new Declaration of Independence. Thank you, Roy. Roy Diamond. And but dude, how about shifting gears here about this show that we're watching? How about the dude who is out on bail after shooting 2 people
Oh yeah.
down in Texas? The
Yep.
kid.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
School shooter. Yeah. Poor kid was being bullied, so he took a gun to school.
Dude,
That's the claim.
how long were they holding Rittenhouse? And we saw it on video. He was defending himself.
Yeah, I'm sure that is part of the awakening process too.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, along with it being
Shot 4 people. I'm sorry, shot 4 people. Yeah.
Well, the one pregnant girl just fell down. I think maybe avoiding the scene.
Okay.
So she got hurt on her own. So yeah, they said 4 victims, but 3 were actually took bullets, and the pregnant girl fell on her own and was injured, but actually was treated at the scene and released.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But when you're watching this movie and you see Timberview,
yes,
kind of reminds you of Moab.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things here, folks, that if you're awake, you see them. And I'm either really awake or somebody is messing with me.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. And by the way, how about the fact that this dude gets out for shooting people with a gun, and people from the January 6th are still behind bars.
Attempted murder wasn't even in one of his charges, I believe. Also, I didn't see attempted murder. It was like aggravated assault and what was the other one? I mean, it had to be illegal discharge of a firearm. But 75,000 bail. So that would be what, 7,500 they had to come up with?
Yep. That's all,
And
10%.
he was driving around in a 2019 Dodge Charger. So it seemed like he was a pretty affluent kid from an affluent family.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't want to speak to what happened in terms of, was he bullied? Was he not? Yeah. Alex Jones has been censored quite significantly, Terry. And, but especially now with this, COVID, what is it? COVID Nation or something, the movie. Yeah. And we're going to see false flags on both sides, right? We're going to see false flags from them trying to divert our attention away from certain things. And we're going to see false flags of predictive programming so that the white hats will prep the population.
I had a Snedhead that sent basically, I think it was a 40 or 50-minute video of Gene Decode.
Uh-huh.
And, I listen to Gene. I enjoy Gene.
Yeah.
If nothing else, he's entertaining and always has a perspective on it that I would have never come up with.
Well, Todd, you also listen to Gene with eyes wide open. You're like, okay, nothing has been proven of what he said.
Right.
And yet it could be very viable. And it is fun to speculate in situations where we're winning. COVID land. Thank you. They too.
He had a very interesting take on the takedown of Facebook.
What did he say?
He said that was a white hat operation to delete some of the things that were in Facebook that were really bad for us.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting take, and it was also a show of strength that even a platform with as many redundant platforms that thing's on, Mark Zuckerberg would never, I think you touched on it earlier in the week about, one of the things he prided himself on was that Facebook would never go down because it was so backed up.
Yeah.
And there were so many servers and so many redundant operations that it would be almost impossible. Well, I think the white hats showed them that they could take them out anytime they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of a shot over the bow of the black hats saying, no, you can't do that. So it was very interesting.
Yeah. And we called it right away as well. And it's because of the internal cards, if they can't get in, and then the whistleblower,
the fake whistleblower.
Cindy, I just want to mention this real quick, bud. Cindy says, please help me. My daughter has to get a mandatory vax, works for government. She hasn't stopped crying for a week now, not wanting to do it. I can't help her financially. She is the breadwinner in her family. She is so scared. Cindy, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's a tough one. And all I got to say is there's got to be a way you can make it work without taking the jab. Have her go to our site. Okay, please go to the IndoctriNATION.com. Okay. And go to the hot zone, go to resource file, and go down to employers mandating vaccinations as a condition for employment. And you've got Defending the Republic here with tremendous resources. Okay. You've got Sidney Powell with tremendous resources. You've got a 3-minute video. So please, instead of crying and in addition to prayer, in addition to crying, please look at this document and find what speaks to you. There's religious exemption, Protestant vaccination exemption form, Catholic vaccination exemption form. Go through, there's American Frontline Doctors Legal Eagle Team. Okay. There's a video here. There's Doug Billings has incredible letter templates to employee letter, because you got to go through all of that so that you will. This is defending the Republic. Sues DOD and FDA and others on behalf of our military who declined vaccination. Get involved with others to fight this. Do not get this jab. Please, I'm not a medical doctor, but based on what we're seeing, this is possible suicide. This is I mean, this is Russian roulette, what we're playing here, folks, what we're being forced to play. Walk out of the room, but don't walk out. Make them fire you. And then, but get with a lawyer, get with these people. There's got to be another way. There's got to be another way. Somebody else has got to step up and get a job. Somebody else has got to get a job doing something else. Please know that you are powerful. Know that they can't force you to do anything without your consent. And that's what we're allowing them to do.
Yeah, I think to this point, Dave, it's important to note that a mandate's not a law. There's no law. And you know, individual companies are enforcing it through, you know, we know through other Snedheads that have gone through this, that they've tried to exhaust everything. And, you know, it's still, I don't know what her time frame is, but you just delay as much as you can. And also, Dave, I came across something today that was a little bit a different way of looking at this through the Q drops.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, if you want to do this right now, we can do it real quick because we're on the subject.
By the way, how about that drop we went to earlier?
Yeah,
that was awesome, huh?
Yeah, yeah. There's some good stuff today.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff on point. And even an explanation, you'll see Q explains some of this. Actually, it's an Anon that explains it through some of Pompeo's timestamps. But what I did was critical race theory has been such a big subject.
Right.
And I was wondering if Q addressed critical race theory at any point. So I put CRT in, and I only came up with one drop. And it's very specific. It comes to 4084.
Yeah. Digest. Know your rights.
Now, see, this is it. And if you look see, the access is denied. What I did, Dave, is I had to go to, I searched it by justice.gov CRT deprivation.
Okay.
I just put that in my search bar, and it came up to an actual government website. And it talked about it. It really singled out it basically went to color of law. Yes. Oh wow, is it gone now?
Well, I did justice.gov /CRT deprivation.
Oh my God, they took it down already then.
Is there anything between CRT and deprivation?
CRT / deprivation.
Let me try that.
Yeah, try that. Because it came up with, for me, and it was really interesting.
Justice.gov /CRT /deprivation.
Yeah, and then if you have to go to dash rights dash under dash color dash law. See if that comes up, because I found it today. There, I think that's it.
Yeah, deprivation of rights under color of law.
Now this seemed to
Kristen Clark.
Yep.
Being grilled.
I believe this is the one I read.
you want to read it?
I don't have it pulled up.
Or just an overview. Title 18 makes it a crime for a person acting under color of any law to willfully deprive a person of a right or privilege protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. For the purpose of Section 242, acts under color of law include acts not only done by federal, state, or local officials within their lawful authority, but also acts done beyond the bounds of that official's lawful authority. If the acts are done while the official is purporting to or pretending to act in the performance of his or her official duties. Persons acting under color of law within the meaning of this statute include police officers, prison guards, and other law enforcement officials, as well as judges, care providers in public health facilities, and others who are acting as public officials. It is not necessary that the crime be motivated by animus toward the race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, or natural origin of the victim. The offense is punishable by a range of imprisonment up to a life term or the death penalty, depending upon the circumstances of the crime and the resulting injury, if any. That's pretty powerful.
Now, Dave, they talked about health.
Yeah.
And there's
Public health facilities.
Yeah, there's
Care
a discussion. I went to a discussion on legally, is a hospital a public health,
facility?
is it with a public health facility? And there's arguments on both sides, pro and against. Most of them actually landing on that it is a public health facility.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being is because anybody can walk into a hospital if you have an injury and get service.
Right.
Now, it is a fact that most are private, but they service the public.
Right.
So there is, I found multiple articles that actually in the definition that actually said, they said both sides, but most of them, like I said, said that this would be applicable. Now, color of law is another way to defend our rights whenever they're being violated.
Well, I'll tell you what, Todd.
The right to make a living.
Yes, yes. Just going back to the public health facilities, I DuckDuckGo'd it, and Cedars-Sinai Hospital ranked number 6th in the nation. It's an advertisement under the public health facilities search. Public health facility definition means an institution as defined in Section 19A 490, a community health center, a group home, a school, a preschool operated by a local or regional board of education, or a Head Start program or a program offered or sponsored by the Federal Special Supplemental Food Program for women, infants, and children. An institution as defined in Section 19A as amended by this act.
Now, like I said, I'm not an attorney, but being as, this is one of the later Q drops, 4084 was towards the end, and it says digest, know your rights. And it led to where it led. So obviously Q knew that we would be in this situation, correct?
Yeah. Yep. So dude, check this out. Public health facility means any hospital, institution, or facility at which provision is made for diagnostic interventions, medical or surgical treatment, and nursing or other health care, which is owned or controlled by an organ of state. Which is owned or controlled by an organ of state.
Or subsidized. if there's any subsidies or say a hospital gets a TIF, a tax.
Yeah.
If you wanted to lure, what I'm saying, Dave, is if you wanted to lure a hospital to your community, you would probably give them tax benefits.
Yeah.
So that would, in essence, tie it to the government.
Yeah.
In my weak ass lawyer terms, I would think that would make it. This is one of those things. It's if you were to go to court, it'd probably be a 50-50 call.
Right. And but the other part of this is too is this is important to connect this together is the following. Where was the money coming from for the COVID reports?
Yep.
For the COVID, put him on the ventilator, get $38,000. Where was that money coming from? That was coming from us. That was coming from the NIH through Medicare.
Well, not only that, Dave, they violated our HIPAA rights already.
Yeah.
Because they'll know if we don't show our vaccination status when we enter the hospital, if we don't show our yellow star.
Yeah.
They've already stomped on our rights and already probably went beyond the color of law, which is that's a big deal.
Yes.
And this is why I was so excited when I saw this today. When I looked up CRT in the post, I said there had to be something, and there was only one post, and it was like, whoa.
Right.
So this would cure a lot. This could cure the school problem. This could cure the hospital problem. This could cure termination for not getting it.
Todd, it's huge, buddy. This is a great
mean,
find. This is really a great find by you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. Because, it's just this is the kind of stuff we need to to understand, to have a better understanding of exactly what is going on here.
Absolutely.
Their deprivation of rights.
Yes.
That's what this is.
There is a law that, if I go into the hospital and I've been involved in an accident, they're not going to just lay me there on the side and let me die.
No, they're gonna do the best they can to actively kill you, is what they're gonna do if you've got COVID, and if because that's COVID. You realize that.
Well, what I'm saying, Dave, is in a normal situation,
right?
If I'm involved in an accident and I'm knocked out and my body ends up going to the hospital, they're not going to look for my insurance card.
COVID. Right.
Well,
exactly.
They're not going to be looking for my insurance card. They're going to do the best they can to save me and then bill me later.
Yes.
Whether it's take my house or take my car, or whatever they got to do to get their money.
Yep.
So this is big. When they refuse service, that's violating color of law, in my opinion, and I think it's huge.
Yeah.
And it should be openly discussed. If you have to get an attorney, see what they say about it.
Yep.
We really have to watch who we get.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to know Sidney Powell's thoughts on it.
And look what you just pointed us to is, Kristen Clark, who was in the news today and yesterday, right? And the Civil Rights Division.
Yeah.
Right? Because
I mean, it just when I saw that open up, Dave, I was like, oh my God, that could be the answer.
Todd, that's huge. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
awesome.
What are the odds, Dave, that Q just provided this little tidbit of information that is not going to be useful?
That we knew was going to, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Look at the date, Dave. it was May of 2020. So it was, it was towards the beginning of the nonsense.
May 3rd, 2020. Yeah.
So I think that this ought to be provided as a resource and should also be discussed.
Holy shit.
It should be discussed with insurance, with not insurance, with attorneys.
Yeah.
And at least you'd get a fighting chance in a day in court.
Yep. Yep. Hey, Todd. What's 8 and 4?
That is 12, Dave.
And what's 8 and 4?
That's 12.
Yeah. So 12 mirrored 1221. Look at or just go with 12 here, or go with 4 plus 8 plus 4 plus May is which month? 5th. So that's 21. So 1221.
Yep.
Or
Cappy.
go to, Cappy. Or go to the end here. 9 plus 3.
Yep.
12. 1221. Which we've been pointed to quite a bit.
But yeah, that kind of I thought that was pretty that was a pretty big bomb there just from CRT.
Yeah. And also May 3rd, 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 2 is 9. Right? 9 on the left side plus 3 is 12. 9 on the right side plus 3 is 12.
And it's plus 21. 12 plus 9 is 21. So you got another 12, 21.
Exactly.
Yep. Dialed in, brother.
Yeah.
But I loved, the message from Q, digest, know your rights.
Yeah.
And then this is where we're at. This could be big.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
You imagine my surprise?
Dude, that was amazing. So, my dear, whose daughter has been crying for a week, what are your thoughts?
I'd say, I would take that and I would go to an attorney, somebody that if you have a family member that's an attorney, hopefully somebody that would be on your side and not in with the hospitals and in with the whole thing.
Perry Gediminsky.
Hey, Rick, spell my last name right. Otherwise, you get no credit.
Yeah. Yeah. Great fun.
And then, Dave, I went to, if you see that, okay. I've got other drops pulled up, but see in 4084 where the timestamp is 20309.
Yes.
I went to post 239. Because
like
I
one
thought,
does.
And that kind of led to something we've been talking about too.
The Asia Foundation, CIA.
CIA and Asia. So now take that drop and go.
Holy shit, dude. That's China. CIA just reorganized so that they could focus on China.
Yep. And that goes directly to, if you look up the article, it talks about the new CIA director and what his plans are for actually, taking on the menace of China, which we know this administration would never do, but possibly if the three-letter agencies are, starting to act on our behalf, maybe as a country, that there might be something going on there. But that was a big boom too. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it talks about CIA and China and Asia. I was like, huh.
Wow. And how about the CIA focusing on China? Do you think they're about 40 years too late?
Yeah, but I think you're right, Dave. I think we've known for quite a while that the Chinese Communist Party is in deep dookie.
Yeah.
You know, being as they took what was that? They took like what was it? God, I can't even remember the weight, but they painted those lead bars gold and tried to get
Yeah.
money on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, with the supply chains backing up, would you want to be on the end making all these products and having nobody to deliver them to?
Yeah.
You know,
No.
that's just as bad on their end as it is ours.
Yeah.
What's that doing to their economy along with
Except
the other
Evergrande.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Evergrande Bank or whatever?
Well, we have, you know, with those ships out there, we still have our money. Yeah, right?
Right.
You know, and they don't. So, um, and also I pulled up the Asia Foundation. It's a nonprofit international development. Look at the children, by the way, committed to improving lives across a dynamic and developing Asia, working through our offices in 18 countries and informed by deep local expertise. That sounds like CIA right there.
Yep.
And 6 decades of experience, we address the critical issues affecting Todd, critical issues affecting CIA. They're telling us right there they're CIA. Dude, look at this. It's unbelievable. Like I wouldn't have thought of that in a million years.
Critical
But
issues affecting.
when they said deep local expertise
Yeah.
and 6 decades of experience, and then we address the critical issues affecting CIA, Asia in the 21st century by strengthening governance, strengthening governance, meaning, you know, bigger freaking bigger government, expanding economic opportunity to those who control us, increasing environmental resilience, fake climate change, empowering women by, you know, over sexualizing them, and promoting international cooperation.
And Dave, Gene Decode actually tonight tying this all together. You know, they have had an overlay on Google Maps for the Three Gorges Dam.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Because
they're covering it up, right?
yeah, we saw that it was bowing and making like a snake. It was like a serpentine. It was like an S shape. And now it looks like they've overridden it and either blacked it out, or you get a very straight dam, like it straightened itself up, depending on the source. And then the other thing that Gene went into was that he went to some kind of a weather phenomena type site that measures like the water rates, like the rates at rivers and their flow rates and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
he said that it looks like the dam has actually been taken out given the way the water is reacting in the flow rates. So he's saying that it looks like it goes straight. It doesn't slow down or stop, and it falls off like it's falling over a waterfall, and then it continues on unimpeded. So that dam could be gone already.
Interesting.
And would we ever know about it?
No, we don't know.
And
Not at
other
all.
than that, why would they cover it up? Why couldn't you just go on the Google Maps and look at a dam?
Yep. Wow. You know, dude, if here's the other thing, just going back to this Asia is headquartered in San Francisco. So there you got your Pelosi, you've got your Newsom, you've got your, you know,
Oh, shit.
provocateurs, right?
Got Adam Schiff.
And Adam Schiff, he's down here a little closer, but you know, he's California, right?
Oh my
And
God. I
In
just got
20
booted off again, Dave.
Did you really? Dude, we are over the freaking target.
That just doesn't happen.
No. So Todd, in 2020, the Asia Foundation provided 78.6 million in direct program support and distributed textbooks and other educational materials valued at $5 million. CRT.
Oh my God, Dave! I just talked about this. Okay, mirror 239.
Okay, hold on.
And go to drop 932 in queue. Holy shit! I just talked about this.
Okay, mirror 239, 932.
Yep. I'm either the luckiest guy in the world.
Okay, here we go. March 10th, 2018, 932. The creation of the internet and connecting platforms is bringing about their downfall. Failure to control. MSM is dead. Internet Bill of Rights. Q.
I just talked about Facebook bridging,
Yep.
having so many backups and redundant systems.
Yep.
There's no way it went down for 5 hours without help.
Exactly.
It's saying it right there. And then look at the number at the top, Dave, 61.
61. We were just at 61. Shit. When
A
was
couple
that?
days ago.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Just
Yeah.
at 61. 61 is please refer back and collect my crumbs. As discussed, we've anticipated the Twitter and other social media blackouts, rogue agents, programmers, per sealed federal orders. We quickly tracked and reinstated. Expect outages periodically, infiltrated. If this doesn't signal what I've been saying, I don't know what will. Boom.
But it's a hoax, Dave.
Yep. Well done, brother.
Talking about internet blackouts, platforms being down, and what did we just see?
Beautiful. Wow.
Awesome. And that is on November 2nd, which is the release of Huma's book, Follow
Huma's
Huma.
book.
And then that's Q's book.
Yep.
Wow.
That's huge, brother.
I'm super lucky, aren't I?
Yeah, it's all luck, dude. It's all luck. It's no skill whatsoever. It's all luck.
I don't even know if I should go any further.
Well, dude, just you saying I'm going to look up CRT. All right. You got too much time on your hands. That's the bottom line, I think.
Well, that's been the big thing. Everybody, every time I was seeing CRT, people are going to be targeted by the FBI because they're arguing against CRT. And then I was like, I wonder if it's in the drops because I never remembered that.
Yeah. Wow. Dude.
And then it may have given us the answer.
This opened up a can of worms. What's your schedule like tomorrow morning?
I'll be sleeping.
Good. Here's what I'm thinking. I think we really ought to do a short version of this and put it out.
A shareable?
Yeah. I could.
Yeah, I think this is about one of the biggest things.
Yeah, I could cut this, but I think we could even tighten it up even more. But
you're not going to give me a script to read, are you?
Yeah. Well, if I thought you could memorize it, yeah. So
Atlanta Falterman had a good idea too. Said Merrick Garland's connected with CRT.
Exactly, which we covered last night.
Yeah,
and who said that?
Was let's see.
Yeah.
Lana Falterman.
Nice, Lana. Yes.
And that ties it to that idiot.
Yep.
With ties to the CRT with making money off of it.
His son-in-law. And then we see that Asia's involved, the Asia Foundation.
Oh, do you think they have maybe something in there where they're making money off of it?
Yeah.
Selling those textbooks?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Okay. Here's what I want to get back to the Asia Foundation here real quick. Okay. And in there, here's what's important to remember. In 2020, we provided 78.6 million in direct program support. And materials valued at $5 million. So the materials were $5 million. The support was 78.6 million. What support look like? That's people. That's the people that are under control of, we're going to put this in your school. These are the school boards. They're giving support, financial support. The materials, that's the CRT, that's all that. Yeah. And CRT also, Merrick Garland's son, they got $12 million last year. Right?
Well, and just think of the woman in Southern Illinois that was linking, the mask wearing and all the COVID nonsense with the school boards. That was tied to money.
Yeah.
You don't do what you're told, you don't get the money.
Yeah.
And then she said, I went out, I just walked through an area that was unkept in the school. So where did that money go and whose pocket did it end up? And Q's told us before, trace the money.
Yeah.
So we do that. Find out who's buying a nice new house or a vacation home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where they're at. They're in Afghanistan.
Oh, Afghanistan. Oh, there's nothing going on there.
Yeah.
Pakistan. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Little St. James Island. What?
Oh, Dave, Myanmar. Nothing going on in Myanmar.
Oh, Myanmar. Yeah, sure.
There's no uprising in Myanmar.
No, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all.
Wow. See, you got to use the news
Thailand,
the map every time.
Philippines. Yeah.
And United States. And where is it? Washington, D.C. also, right?
San Francisco, D.C., and New York City.
Corrupt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So they're headquartered out of the United States.
Let's look deeper here. Let's go to...
Don't you think it's strange that the Asia Foundation is found in the United States, the headquarters?
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Hmm.
Our donors. Let's check out the donors.
Oh, no. It wouldn't be Bill Gates.
Let's see. Individuals. Well, let's go. Let's look at... let's see. Winnie and Michael Feng. How do we know that name? Penelope Wong.
Something Wong?
Yes. Mindy Ying, Diplomat Circle, Major Gifts. Adamson, that's their big NPR propaganda. The Adamson Foundation.
Oh, wow. Baptiste. That's a big, that's a big name.
Yeah. These are smaller. Robert Blake. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Jerome, we need to look into these donors, people.
Yeah. Corporations, foundations, and organizations. This is what we needed right here. Google right at the top.
Wow. Google.
Bank of America. Boeing. Carnegie. Chanel. Estee Lauder, Facebook,
Oh my God.
Ford Foundation.
Oh,
Friends-
wow.
Yeah, dude. Gilead,
Wow.
New York Public Radio, Microsoft Corporation.
Bill Gates.
There you go. You nailed it. Talk about the ups and downs. Otis Elevator Company.
Otis, my man.
Otis, he loves us.
You mind if we dance with your dates?
Yeah, with your dates. The Rockefeller Foundation. What a surprise.
Oh, Cindy Plant, that's a very nice comment. This is like watching Amazing Polly. Amazing Polly will have this. If we gave this to
Yeah.
her, she would have a field day.
Yeah. I mean, we could do a dive on this like she does. And Snedheads, let's just do it. Snedheads, engage. Dig into this. Send Christy and Barbara and me emails and Todd. And we'll message us. We'll put it together. Let's put it together this weekend.
The McConnell Foundation. Did I see that right?
As in Mitch McConnell?
Mitch the bitch?
Wow. Let's check him out.
Oh, his wife wouldn't be involved in the Asia Foundation, would she?
Oh, yeah. McConnellFoundation.org. Redding, California. The best way to predict the future is to create it.
Oh, my God.
This may not be him if it's California, simply because, let's see, history, board and staff. Lee Salter, Mansacola. Jimenez, William Cox. This doesn't look like Mitch McConnell.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Spoiled again. Well,
Yeah.
it was exciting while it lasted. You know, Dave, this
Yep. Well, that's a dead end, Todd. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot for that wasted time.
Sorry I didn't bring it tonight, guys.
I know, dude.
We may have solved how we get around everything, and we know who funds this corrupt, evil corporation, and
Yeah.
but I'll try to do better next week.
Well, we got Starbucks, Tiffany and Company, Union Bank, UPS, Visa, Wells Fargo, and Zendesk. We got a lot of pretty significant, Rockefeller Foundation, nailed it. Nailed it, man.
Wow.
That's huge, brother. That's huge. Snedheads, let's engage in this. Let's dig into the Asia
Tear
Foundation.
this up. Leave no stone unturned.
Tear it up. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Great stuff, man. Holy cow.
All off of looking up CRT.
And folks, let's drop some ducats to Todd. What do you say? Huh? Let's hit us up on the PayPal and Venmo. Drop some ducats his way. And let's
I got my tin cup out, Dave.
and dude,
I'm saving up for a monkey.
And let's do and by the way, let's also let's do what was I going to say?
I mean, do we at least feel a little bit more confident that we got a chance here with this?
Yeah.
This could be what we were looking for, is how we're supposed to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this seems like a big weapon.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, this is huge. Dude, we gotta drop the mic on that. We're done.
I know what I did the rest of it. It was good, believe me. There were no clunkers.
Yeah.
But this is dynamite.
Yep. And yeah, fantastic.
Well,
Right.
in 239, Dave also gets us back to 13 and 61. We might want to go to 13.
Which one? 13. Yeah.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, just
Right, because 13 is with 61 right here.
Yep.
We already
Yeah.
went to 61.
I'm gonna give it one quick look. Ah. Okay, I'm done.
October 30th, 2017. Now think about the timing of POTUS traveling to China, South Korea. I've said too much. God bless Patriots. Okay. If this is Todd. This is it right here. Watch.
There it went. That's all, folks.
What? I can't hear you. What? What? Oh, hold on. Okay, there we go. All right. So, all right, folks. Todd, fantastic, brother. Great stuff. Let's communicate tomorrow. Maybe put something together this weekend. If I can cut this easily, I'll maybe we just launch this. But
we could probably make that, even if it's a 15 or 20 minute or even a half hour. It's nice to get it while it happened. I like that live interaction and how it happened.
Let me see if I can cut that in the morning, and
that'd be awesome.
And we'll launch it. All right, we'll be in touch. Great job, brother. Good stuff. I can't believe you just. Let me look at TRT. Let's see what's going on.
Hey, somebody's asking if I have a PayPal. Hell yeah, I got a PayPal.
Yes. Hold on.
This is like free legal
Go ahead.
advice.
Go ahead. By the way, everything coming in tonight is going to Todd from me. Seriously, but Todd, give it to me.
Hold on, let me look it up.
Yeah,
that'll tell you something.
That's why I didn't do it. I think yours is like wacky.
What is it? How do you get to the name?
I don't know.
Oh,
well,
man,
folks, everything coming in tonight's going to Todd and Cindy.
I don't even know my own damn name on PayPal, really.
And by the way,
here it is, Dave.
Okay.
It's at GDMNSK. Todd Gadaminski at GDMNSK. My last name with no vowels.
Hold on. Okay, say that again, because isn't it is it PayPal or is it Venmo?
This is a PayPal.
Okay, go ahead.
It's Todd Gadaminski at GDMNSK. Just take all the vowels out of my last name.
.com? Wait a minute.
Well, that's all it says.
Because I don't think this is your PayPal.
Yeah, I went right to it.
Really?
Yeah.
I've sent it. I think it's just Gadaminsk, or without the.
Yeah, it could be at GDMNSK.
Oh, I can't. I don't have a signal here.
That's pretty sad,
Yeah. Right.
That's so funny.
Login. There we go. All right, let me see.
I feel bad asking for money, but you know what? Everybody can use a little something.
Yeah. Let's see. I never do it on my computer, so this is weird. Trying to find you on the computer. I always do it on my phone, but I don't have signal on my phone.
I just like to be able to buy like a really good cigar after this is over. You know how like on some movies,
Here
like
Here it is, dude.
Did you find it?
Yeah, it's GDMNSK at yahoo.com.
Oh.
I think.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Hold on. Now where the hell is my
well, if you send me a penny, then I'll know I got it.
That's right. Hold on.
It's not lighting up yet. Guys,
Hilarious.
you got to know we don't do this for the money.
Yeah.
It's not the thing.
Okay. How do I do that? Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows a picture of me on the personal info page, and it says it has my name, and then it has at GDMNSK. Yeah, and then it's the email connected to it is gdmnsk@yahoo.com.
Okay. I just sent it to you. No, I just sent it to you now. Let me know if you got it.
Oh yeah, it worked.
Okay, that's the one.
Woohoo!
See, I'm glad we didn't give it to that other guy, whatever the hell address you gave me.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, now I've where the hell is my? There it is, live studio. All right. So GDMNSK at Yahoo. Here we go. GDMNSK at yahoo.com.
Yeah, that's my email.
Yeah, so it's tied to the email. It's tied to the email. So awesome, brother. Good stuff, man. So
Yeah,
let's be in touch tomorrow.
I was pretty excited to the point where I got to, and then we really got it. We really pushed it towards the end there. I think this is freaking awesome. I can't believe this. If you don't believe in Q, if this is a psyop, screw you, Q. But if it's not, thank you, Q. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. And also just on the silver dude, I got to talk to about real quick. Cliff High did a show today. Was it today or yesterday? He did a show. Cliff High. I've showed you guys Cliff High before. He figures out what's trending on the internet. Like he has these formulas that finds out what's really being talked about. He thinks silver is going to go to $600 in the coming weeks or months. $600. Okay?
That'd be good.
Yes. So if you're interested in silver, the least amount of money you're going to pay for an ounce of silver or an ounce of gold is going to be with us through Patriot Silver, through the company called 7K Metals. Just put your information down. We keep it all private, internal, and submit an inquiry. You will get a phone call this weekend or in the next couple of days and get enrolled. We've got over 200 Snedheads enrolled in this. People are starting to see checks coming through because all they're doing is they don't make any money on the bullion. They only make money on the that's on the IndoctriNATION.com. Just scroll down. They only make money on the numismatic and the enrollments. And the enrollments are, it's like Costco. You can get in for as little as $200 and you will literally save that in probably your first month.
Yeah, that's a really good gig. If you're not invested in gold and silver right now with the inflation that's coming, I have no words. It's like missing the opportunity of a lifetime, in my opinion, because you can see this coming. This is not a sneak attack. They're printing money and they're spending money, and you can see inflation with your own eyes everywhere. So your protection is gold and silver, folks. And any way you get it, if you choose going through us, we appreciate it. If you go another route, get it. If you have to go to a pawn shop, get some gold and silver. You're going to need it.
Yep. Exactly.
That's my public service announcement for tonight.
Awesome. And there's a Healy call at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, Pacific Standard Time. A lot of great information that Amy's going to share with you. A lot of new information, really exciting information. So, guys, please check that out. Check out the Zoom. Do we have that in the chat? Did Barbara put that in the chat? Or let's see. Where do we have that info now? Ada has it on her site. It's the same Zoom call every weekend, every Saturday. We are not having a 7K medals call tomorrow because Nancy is in Houston at the 7K. So if you're in the Houston area, check out the 7K program. Reach out to us, and you can go. You can show up, and if you can just show up, it's free, and it's a day event tomorrow, and in Houston. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, guys. There's a lot of ways that we can plan for the future, and hopefully, hopefully we've unlocked. I really hope that this is what we think it is. This could possibly change a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
I really think that we were led there by Q for a reason.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Let's prepare. Let's use all the tools in the toolbox and make it through this together.
Absolutely. And by the way, it's in San Antonio, Texas. Not Houston. They were in Houston 2 days ago. So tomorrow is in San Antonio, Texas. San Antone. San Antone.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some beauty sleep. I really want to fight digging into what we have open now, so I can get some sleep. But I will be digging this weekend.
Awesome.
So maybe Monday, if we don't have anything before, if I find something a big deal, maybe we could do a little pop in, pop out.
Yeah.
Because this is big. I mean, there's people right on the brink right now that could use this, and hopefully it could help.
And and the IG, widespread problems with the FBI's FISA applications back in September, and Durham stuff's coming out. So it's happening. It's happening. All right, man. Have a great night. Sleep well.
All right, brother.
My best to Cindy.
Will do. Love you all. Love you, Schneidheads.
But see you. Bye-bye.
See you.
Todd
Bye.
Gediminsky, everybody. Todd Gediminsky, bringing it. And we are blessed to have him and Cindy, and we are absolutely hit him with some love tonight, guys. Would you hit him with some love? He put so much into this. We all put so much into this. Your support is appreciated. And if you're getting involved in the gold and silver, if you're getting involved with Healy, that's helping as well. And if you don't have any money, we don't want you giving us any money. You know that. All right. Love you all. Let's say a quick prayer and we will be out of here. And I'm coming in, so I don't need that right now. Thank you. Oh my God, I'm coming right in. Oh boy, I got some din waiting for me, and some time with my family. I love you all, dear Lord. Let me take this down here. Thank you for bringing us all together this evening. Thank you for all the truth. Thank you for President Trump. Thank you for the Q team and all the Anons and all the autists and all the digital warriors. Lord, thank you for the eyes to see the truth, and thank you for the passion to seek it and share it with others. And we thank you for all that we are experiencing. And please watch over our loved ones. Norm, Kelly, please watch over those that are struggling with a decision. Help them see the truth. Help them to find different ways to provide for their families. Help those that are scared right now because of real issues. And please let them know they're not alone. And please help us to bind together and be stronger than we ever have been as humanity on this planet. and really enter into a new paradigm of love and joy and accountability and abundance. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Thank you, Lord. Thy will be done. Amen. All right, my friends. Good night. Be well. Have a great weekend. To be continued. And I'll ask you if we do hit something out. Giveaway. You guys reminded me of the giveaway. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. What we just gave you isn't enough. All right. Hold on. Let me get to my chat up. Okay. We got 1,330. And thank you, Nancy. Thank you so much. Nancy 1,700. Is that our Nancy in San Antonio right now? Hold on. Who said that? I was trying to find who said that. Please post full show on Rumble. It is on Rumble right now. We went live on Rumble. Okay. Elisa says, are we to leave the stocks and buy silver? I would definitely recommend, and again, I don't give financial advice, but this is the way I look at it, is that you should have normally 5 to 8% of your portfolio in silver and gold or gold. I think silver. But under what name? It's the IndoctriNATION on Rumble, the IndoctriNATION. But in this particular situation, I would even say more. Good night, Barbara. I would even say more. So yes, and you guys are welcome for a great show. All right, so let me see. Let me see. What about a quiz? Okay. Angela, looking to move hubby's 401k to silver. Please fill out the information or email me, davesned@gmail. Angela, davesned@gmail. Because you can, if it's in a self-directed 401k, you can move it into 7K. Okay. Can anybody name the most valuable thing that I won because of all the fabulous Snedheads getting involved in the silver? What did I win the other day? What's the most valuable thing I won? What do we got? Yeah, get it out of BlackRock. Christy, you nailed it. Christy, 100-gram bar of silver. You nailed it. And by the way, Christy is making these awesome things. I got to show you. Hold on. As you get these coins, okay? Hold on. I got a lot going on here. Okay. Christy, tell Joe. I still need the video. Christy has made these handmade, okay? And American flag to hang on your wall. And look, now the 7K coins, she's going to make different ones for that. But your coins go right there, right? And you can have as many as you want. I got the Trump Pence there. I got the Trump coin there. So I'm going to be hanging this and putting the individual coins, but handmade by Christy Blackburn. And so thank you for that, Christy. And if you want more information on that, let us know through what's the best way to do that? Let us know through maybe Christy. You could drop your information in here, Christy. Okay. drop your email in the chat, please. And so Christy got the first one. Okay. So yes, it was 100. Oh, no, you're right. Uh-oh. Christy, you got that wrong. You got that wrong. Oh, now I feel like an idiot. It was, hold on. Hold on. Now who got it? Who got it? Hold on. Hold on. It was 100 ounces of silver. 100 ounces. Okay. Technicality. But anyway, we got you some love because you're going to get some people buying some of these things from you. Hold on. Dave, what's a good time to call Cindy for signing up? RB Chef, you can do this weekend, or you can put your info in, or davesnet@gmail.com, and I'll forward it. Yeah, so where was that? I do this all the time, man. Let's see. Let me find it. And where's the answer? A big silver bar, Julie, but we were looking for specifics. Silver bullion, a trio silver bar. RB 100 ounce. Looking for 100 ounce silver bar. Bullion silver bar. Who's got the 100 ounce silver bar? 16 ounce, no. Chris, did you win again? 100 ounce bar silver. Yes. Wait a minute. No, Jazz Girl had a 100 ounce silver. 100 ounces silver. Man. Okay. Here's what we got to do here. Okay. Jazz Girl got it. She was just a little bit earlier. 100 ounces silver. And Christy, I'm going to give you one too. Okay. Because you were the first, and because you were already fired up. It was Chris first. No, see, Jazz Girl's on D Live, so I get everybody. So Chris was just after, because you guys only see whatever room you're in, and I'm seeing everybody. So sorry, Chris. Yeah, Jazz Girl's on D Live. So send me an email, davesnet@gmail.com. Okay. And all right, here's another one. Let's see. This is was not prepared for this. Sorry. Let's say thank you, D. Hi.
We're starting with brand.
Okay.
Blanca facility.
Okay.
60 seconds if you don't come in, and we're not going to catch you up. You just have to sit there and watch it.
Okay, hey, listen, 60 seconds. Give me 60 seconds. I need a quiz question.
What?
A quiz question for Snedeker. Can you think of a quiz?
Anything?
Sure. I'm having
You're stalling.
no, I want to go.
Just say how many hats are sold in the U.S. in a year. Bye.
No, that's a tough one to follow up. All right, guys. All right, so let me do one more. Okay, what is the who is one of my biggest influences in the truther community, and his initials are WC. Let's see. WC. Todd Gedeminsky. Hilarious. No world order. William Cooper. You nailed it. You nailed it. William Cooper. The great William Cooper. And God bless you, William Cooper. Rest in peace. And we're doing it, man. All the things that you were trying to wake people up to, we're now doing it, Bill. And we're so grateful to you for laying the foundation and the sacrifice of your life. You sacrificed your life, Bill, and we're so grateful. No world order. Email me, davesned@gmail.com. I love you all. And thanks for playing. Thanks for hanging. I love you. We'll see you. I'm out. Bye-bye.